Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Dorkest Hour. Tonight is episode 9 with ArcaneArmor, Odin, and Styx. Let's say hi to the boys. What up, boys? What's going on?
Yo.
Hello.
We were joking about how you were gonna unmute at the worst possible conversation when you happened to pick one. Both of us were dead silent.
Good timing. And I picked a great time to start because Arcane was just taking a quick shit. Oh, there he is. Just had to.
That was record timing, actually.
Actually, originally we had the chair as the original third member of the podcast.
Somebody's got to take Snowbad's place.
Did you take the world's fastest shit?
Somebody's got to take
the world's dude, that was not a shit. I mean, if that was a shit, we would be waiting a little bit.
How long? 30 minutes? Are you one of those people that poops and then sits there trying to hatch a shit egg? Or like, what do you do?
That used to be the case, but COVID changed that. Once I the days, like the bidet kind of changes that paradigm. You don't feel the need to sit there and hatch everything out so that you can wipe effectively when you have a better cleansing system. It's way better. Get a bidet.
I remember being a kid and I was a big reader. I loved reading books. This was like fucking 90s, right? So there was no smartphones or any bullshit like that. So I would
Goosebumps on the shitter.
Goosebumps, Animorphs, fucking you name it, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And I would take my book to go take a shit, and then I would sit there and I'd be at like a really good part of an Animorphs book, and I would shit, but I didn't want to like put the book down and wipe my ass and leave the bathroom, so I wanted to at least finish the chapter. So I would shit and then just sit there and I would keep reading. And it was like a mother hen sitting on a newly laid egg. Yeah. And there's nothing coming out of it. And then I would sit there for like another 10 minutes sometimes. Like maybe I just started the chapter.
Well, now you were doing over at that point.
You were doing what every dad did back then. Which
with a newspaper.
My moment of solitude.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody leave me the hell alone. And if you didn't have a book to read, for all you Zoomers in chat, you had to read the shampoo bottle.
That is so true.
Those were desperate times. You sitting on the back there like, what the fuck is propylene glycol? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Dextroethylmethylene? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, you don't. Whenever you don't want to get out of the shower because you're like, I just want to stay in the shower. It's warm. Like especially in wintertime. Like, I'm just gonna stay in this warm liquid blanket. I know it's gonna be fucking a frozen hell when I get out of the shower. But the moment I get out and then go to the back of the door where my towel is hanging is going to be shitty. So let's stay in the shower as long as possible and just read all the labels. And I would do that. I was doing that at 11.
If you got the Dr. Bronner's bottle, you got a lot to read, buddy.
Oh yeah, there was like some
spaceships and shit.
Yeah, there was some products where it's like, let us tell you about our story. So you're like reading about how this soap was made and the family that fucking, I don't know, created it in the late 1800s or whatever.
Dr. Bronner's one is specifically weird because they're a family of like Jewish mysticists, or at least the founder, Dr. Bronner, was. So it's got a bunch of like weird, like, and it's not coherent. It's like a schizophrenic guy just shouting all his conspiracy theories at you all at once.
And then the last sentence is, and now they control America. No, I'm just joking.
Right, or something.
I was about to say, speaking of Jewish mysticism, just to see if anybody's eyes would go, oh, fuck.
Space lasers and other news, space laser technology.
Space lasers. Yeah. I think think a lot of people have space laser tech, not just the Jews. What's up, Odin?
My dad, if you're talking about sitting in the shower forever, if I spent more than like a minute after the shower turned off in the bathroom, my dad would relentlessly harass me about jerking off in the bathroom.
Jesus.
What were you doing in there? Yeah, like from the time I was like 11, I'm not even kidding. My dad would be like, "You just fucking playing with your shit in there? What are you doing in there?"
Don't clog the drain, son.
Wait, but where's the logic in that? He waited to harass you until after the shower was turned off. Wouldn't you be doing that during the shower? Like,
okay, hold on. I need to.
You gotta rewind.
It's great that you brought this up because who is jerking off in the shower, dude? Have you ever not?
I did.
That shit clogs the drain, bro. That shit clogs the drain.
Yeah, but whenever you're figuring shit out, whenever you're 12,
what does your drain look like?
Well, for sure, but whenever
there's a lot busting in it.
Yeah, you don't want to bust in the drain, but whenever you're like 12 and you're figuring this shit out, Yeah, and you have the bar of soap.
jerk off everywhere.
You learn lessons like don't jack off with soap because that might fucking not
That's gonna
feel so
burn.
great after a while. And you learn that there's a water bill and that your dad will beat your ass if you're in there for 15 minutes, you know? So yeah. I had a Navy dad. So for him, it was like, take a 3-minute shower, bitch, and get the fuck out of there kind of shit.
Get the fuck out, yep.
Yeah, it's like, we got a water bill, and what are you really doing in there? You only need 2 minutes. Fucking throw some water on your private parts, slap your armpits, fucking touch your hair, get the fuck out. Just like, there's other stuff I could be doing in there, sir. But anyway.
There was
Like reading shampoo bottles.
Yeah, exactly.
Learning about
And
propylene
experimenting
glycol,
with
like,
bars of soap.
Right.
Yeah.
there was that one dude from Rooster Teeth, Gavin Free. Like he talked on their podcast numerous times about how he doesn't like. He like karate chops his ass with soap and water because he doesn't want to touch his ass. It's like, dude, your ass must be the most disgusting thing on the fucking planet.
Dude, whenever
his girlfriend swears it's clean, and I'm just like, how do you not?
You better have
get in
a
there.
power washer bidet if that's your shower.
Yeah, I mean nowadays you can get away with it because you're cleaning yourself out. But
I've seen these stories. I've heard about this where dudes are like, no, I don't fucking wash my asshole. That's
Don't
gay.
touch my ass.
It's fucking gay, dude. I'm like, what the fuck is
it
wrong?
feels good.
Who
and it makes
hurt
me feel
you?
things.
Who
And then
hurt
I-
you? And
it's
what
weird.
is what is your what is your education history? What happened to you? Why are you so
Who hurt
warped?
you?
Like that is the saddest thing. You're not willing to wash your own dirty, shit covered asshole because it's gay. Dude, you
Well,
already
don't wanna
jack yourself
cover your
off. That's
hand in
gayer.
Lathered soap and then credit card yourself over and over again, man.
And these are the
Okay.
same guys who are like, no, I'm not gonna touch my asshole in the shower. And it's the same guy when he's drunk is like, dude, if I could suck my own dick, I'd never leave home. Ha, ha, ha. It's like that. It's like that. Really?
I'd bust
That's
out
cool.
my own
It's the
throat
same
and
guy.
everything.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Or when they get super loaded, they'd be like, hey, don't get me wrong, I would totally suck that dude's
Or
Just like,
they're the guy that gets drunk and puts the arm around you and he talks this close to your face.
Oh my god!
And you're like, yeah,
And you're just like, stop.
I could tell you really don't like washing your asshole with your fucking knuckles. Yeah, I can. Sure, buddy.
I
Yeah.
can smell it.
It's like the evolutionary tell for guys who get way too close to you when they talk while they're drunk.
Yeah.
That you know they don't wash their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't wash
that's
their
the
ass
way.
and they wish they were bottoms for sure. Yeah. Anyway, gentlemen, thanks for joining. This is the best start of a
Wait, are we
podcast
live?
ever. Yeah, we are
We're live?
the greatest 8-minute intro ever. Folks, we got ArcaneArmor, we got Odin, we got Styx on the pod tonight. Odin and Styx, you guys were just on, but I wanted to have you back on. ArcaneArmor, you were an old favorite guest and a buddy, and I was like, we got to get you on as well because we got plenty of shit to talk about.
So bad was supposed to be here, and then he decided that he was too busy playing Dark.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. He's a full-time streamer. You know, he's doing his thing, and there's a shitty ass wipe. SDF, definitely a guy that doesn't wipe, by the way. Except or wash his ass. But anyway, yeah, he's busy with that. I totally get it. But
Wiping.
Still gotta bust his balls about it though.
yeah, he only wipes dad. That's it. Oh, that sounded weird. Arcane, how are you, sir? What's going on? It's been a while. It's good to see you're looking good. You're looking like Aaron Rodgers a few seasons in. You look
Dude.
great.
So many times I get it,
Every
and
time.
I did a
Oh yeah.
I did a chat GPT like, hey, I need a new hairstyle. Give me a little montage. Give me 8 different hairstyle collage, and give me medium, long, and short hairstyles. It generated long hairstyles where instantly, like, I don't think this way, but I've been told it at least 5 different times over the last year, maybe 2 years, that I look like Aaron Rodgers. And when Gemini generated these images, I instantly understood. Like every single long-haired or medium-haired image, I was like, "Fuck, I do look like Aaron Rodgers."
It'd have been funny if
Yeah.
it just
And it was
generated
like-
images of Aaron Rodgers.
Seriously, I started to wonder, like, if the model thought that I was Aaron Rodgers, and it
It
started
might.
to like morph my face just a little bit to look like it. But
No, you
Yeah,
just
anyway.
look on
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here. Feeling like not an NFL quarterback, but
You do look like
other
him,
than
but I'm
that,
glad you're doing well.
I'll take it.
Glad you're
Yeah.
doing well.
At least you look like Aaron Rodgers and not Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, that'd probably be worse.
I'm trying to
would be worse.
find it. I don't think it's gonna work. I think it might be gone. Photo shadow removal. But I used let's see, selfie photo. I used ChatGPT I tried to edit a picture. I was doing the online passport renewal. And you can do everything online. You can take a selfie on your phone, upload it, submit it, and you get a new passport in like 2 weeks. It's amazing. It's way better than the old system, right? And I took a picture of myself, uploaded it, and they rejected it because there was a shadow on the wall behind me. You have to have a white wall. There was a shadow behind me. They're like, hey, you got to ditch the shadow. You got to retake it and have better lighting. I was like, okay. I didn't want to, so I was like, maybe I can just put it in ChatGPT and have it remove the shadow in the picture. What it ended up doing was not removing the shadow, but turning me into what looked like an anime boy version of myself. It made no fucking sense. And then I started yelling at ChatGPT. I was like, this is wrong. What the fuck are you doing? Fix it. And then it kept making me look more ridiculous, more weeby. Eventually I had sparkly eyes. The shadow was darker. I was like, what's going on?
And then magical girl.
I guess. And then I finally took the new picture, uploaded, and it was fine. But it failed me, for sure. I wish I could find some of these pictures, photo editing. I'm trying to find it.
I think ChatGPT was just trying to be like that overzealous gay hairstylist for you, you know, and just be like, listen,
this is
honey,
your new
really
look.
what you need. Yeah, it's just like... And by the end, you're like, what has happened?
Yeah, it was not great. Anyway, good to see Arcane. Odin, it's been a couple of weeks. How are you, sir? What's going on?
I've just been busy with work, and well, I'm sure we'll get around to talking about the shit stain files, as I now call them. But that's been kind of just the 24/7 news ticker is just watching our country fucking burn to the ground.
Boy, Arcane, don't worry. This
Very
is
exciting.
not us trying to corner you, but we're gonna want your
Oh,
opinion.
dude,
too.
you're not cornering anyone. I watched the previous two pods, and I think you guys ultimately, if I can try to succinctly summarize, you identified the root issue, which is that both parties suck 100%.
Oh yeah,
And
Okay.
if you've chosen a side, if you've chosen a Democrat or Republican side, and you cannot see through the bullshit of both of them and realize what the real battle is, then you've already been duped. And it doesn't matter what you've registered to vote as. It doesn't matter if you're registered independent, Democrat, or Republican. At this point, if you don't see through the absolute bullshit that everyone that's part of the establishment is doing, then you are voluntarily blinding yourself at this point. So you're not going to offend me in any way. I am disgusted with everything in the current administration, the past administration, the administration before that. Like it's just an ongoing saga of bullshit. So yeah, you're not going to offend me.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I would generally echo that. I mean, it's, as I've been saying to a lot of people who aren't like politically in tune with that I talk to every day. You know, I'm a small business owner, so I have a lot of employees, and then, you know, I talk to them, and they'll generally, you know, be like, oh, well, left or right, left or right. I'm like, you're missing the picture. It's top and bottom, homeboy. It has nothing to do with left and right. That is table scraps you're fighting over, while all the big dogs up there decide what happens, which is another interesting point we'll eventually get to, of course.
Yeah, the way I look at it
sorry to
is
immediately steered here.
no, it's okay. Styx, good to see you as well. You were just on. Hello again.
I'm back.
You're back. The way I look at it is, okay, this is terrible, but when I was deployed, we would have like bug battles. We'd find like a Hercules beetle or a camel spider or a scorpion, and to start the battle, sometimes they'd just be sitting there. They wouldn't care. that
Right.
there was another species in the ring that we created. We're bored as fuck. It's the hot desert. Nothing's happened in 3 days, which is a lot of what war is, just sitting around waiting for something. And we wanted to create our own violence, which is fucked up. I get it. But we would find these little desert critters and we'd hope they would fight. And so a lot of the time they would just sit there and just fucking sniff each other and then sit in the dirt, trying to find an escape because they didn't have any beef, right? So what would we do? We would take the scorpion and the camel spider and we'd put them in a big jug and we'd shake the fuck out of the jug and then pour them out into the fucking ring. And then at that point, they hadn't even realized that a puppet master had squished them together and fucked with them and shaken their little world up to the point where they thought that each other was the enemy. And then what happened? They would fucking kill each other. And typically the camel spider would wreck shop straight up. But then once in a while we'd put a scorpion in there and just like one little sting to the top of the camel spider's head and it's dead. Let's be real here. And the Hercules beetle was really just tanking the entire time. He wasn't really, which is impressive. But that's beyond the point. The point is some airman, some soldier, some marine or whatever would shake the jug, dump it out in the little ring we built, and they'd fight because they thought that they were being attacked by each other when in reality someone was pulling the strings. Someone above them was pulling the strings. And that is definitely happening in America. We're being manipulated with social media, with old school dying dinosaur corpo media bullshit, and with unfortunately new age media.
And with good
guys,
old-fashioned Goebbels propaganda.
That kind of shit. But then there's like the new age media. There's like Asmongold and Hassan Piker and Nick Fuentes, the Daily Wire, Turning Point USA, all those fucking dumb cunts.
Nick Fuentes, I cannot believe this guy has been preaching for like as long as he's been on the fucking platform about the Jewish cabal of pedophile elites running the world, and then we find out that it was actually real the whole time, and he's like, actually, you can't say that. It's very anti-Semitic.
Dude, the fact that Nick Fuentes is a closeted gay man that is, isn't he Mexican with a last name like Fuentes? And he is a white supremacist that wants essentially a Nazi takeover of America. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. But anyway,
look at how half of the fucking people in ICE are Hispanic or black, dude.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's fucking insane. So I want to go back to what you said though, Mr. Arcane. Yes, I'm glad that's what you took out of the last couple episodes, but we need to be honest that the Trump MAGA shit is so much fucking worse. It is not Republican or Democrat.
It's way worse than I thought it was going to be. No, it's way worse than I thought it was going to be.
MAGA is not Republican, and it's not Democrat. MAGA is a different cancerous beast, in my opinion. It's not the GOP.
Yeah,
it is a takeover. It is a completely different foul thing. And
they tried to do it before with the Tea Party, and that didn't work. And then MAGA's like, it's more extreme.
It's traitorous and treasonous.
I don't think it has the weight that a lot of people perceive it to have.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
It doesn't have the power.
Do you mean like saying power
behind it? Yeah, like
what? Trump and MAGA?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So right around the November. When the hell was the election? 2024, right? 2020.
November 4th.
Yeah, November 4th, 2024. It was like right before or after that. Spuddy was like, I don't know if you guys watch Spuddy anymore, but he was getting very political at the time.
I watched his videos,
He was pretty anti-Elon, anti-Trump. And at the time I was like, yeah, it's kind of hyperbolic. Like I get a lot of the points, but I thought it was a little bit over the top. And you and I had conversations around probably very similar topics. And he sent a note, was like, dude, mark my words, this cat is going to try to run for a third term. And I was like, man, all right. I laughed like out loud at home to myself at the time, laughed out loud and was like, no. What I responded to him with was, dude, if that happens, the majority that the base that we think is MAGA, or whatever power you think is behind what the mainstream and what anybody else is calling MAGA, I think it's a very, very small portion of the country that is just like die hard. I'm going to do whatever Trump says no matter what. The rest of the people that actually voted for him because they hated what was going on in the previous administration, those people, I think, are the majority of what are getting classified in the MAGA base. I guess that's the whole point. And what I replied back with was like, dude, if he tries to run for a third term, there is no fucking way in hell that the people that were 50, 60, 70% of his voting populace in 2024, there is no way they're voting for him again. And now, two things are true. One, I feel like a dumbass because number one, I didn't think it was possible that he was going to try to run for a third term. Now I'm like 90% sure he's going to. So I was 100% wrong about that. But two, I do think I'm correct about the more important part, which is that most people, especially after what's happened during this term, most people that ended up voting for him that were simply not pro-Trump, they were just anti-establishment, anti-COVID.
Drain the swamp. Drain the swampers.
Yeah, drain the swamp. But right. They were everything that was wrong with the previous administration. They were anti that. Those people are now flipping to anti-Trump, and there's no way they're going to go down. They're going to go down the path of voting for him for a third term. Like that is.
What if I pull the Morpheus meme and say, what if I told you that voting might not matter?
Well, that's true.
What I was about to bring up. I think pretty soon. I think that the reason why they're so mask off and why they are doing such brazen, crazy shit, like I think it was today or yesterday, when Trump was on Bongino's podcast, where he was like, the Republicans should nationalize voting. Which is fucking insane. Which is fucking crazy. When you say shit like that, when you openly fucking lie about the Epstein files, whenever you just brazenly talk about betraying NATO and European allies and taking the entire northwest fucking hemisphere of the planet, it means you think you've already won. It means you don't care if you lose your base because you have already rooted yourself so far into the flower pot that you're gonna fucking weed everything else out and it doesn't matter anymore. And that, I think, is the big issue here. That is, I think you're right. I think a lot of people are appalled by what's going on and what happened. And unfortunately, I think it's not too late, but it's close to not mattering anymore. Whether everyone hates them or not.
Over the last 3 days, over the last 4 days, really now, since whether it was there's some theories that it's just a sensory overload, that they're just dumping all these files because they're never going to admit to it or prosecute themselves anyway.
Right.
And there's some people that think it was a whistleblower that leaked it. I'm starting to think it was the former because it's deny everything, admit nothing, and everyone's in on the party of we're not going to investigate ourselves. You know, the attorney general was like, "There's nothing wrong in those files. You can't prosecute. Get fucked." You know, we're now looking at basically like everything that people, all the crazy conspiracy theorists that we told were like, you guys are fucking nuts. Okay, it's bad, but it's not that bad. They were fucking right. They turned out to be right the whole goddamn time. They were not fucking crazy,
dude. The Pizzagate shit's starting to look kind of real right now.
And it was both sides.
It's all looking real. And I think that
it's all of them.
I think release.
It's all of them,
I think they had an oh shit realization where they were like, hey, we own all branches of government, and the DOJ is in my pocket. The attorney general's in my pocket. It's all, I control it all. This is Trump's thoughts. You might as well just throw it out there. Fucking leak it. Yeah. Who gives a shit? We're so ironclad that even if people are pissed off and demand something, we control everything. They're not going to be able to do anything anyway. And I think that's the issue.
I'm waiting for Trump to post the Palpatine "I am the Senate," meme. Like,
right.
I'm waiting.
He's basically already doing that every day.
Dude, this fucking Republican should nationalize voting shit. Go ahead.
Super scary.
Go ahead.
Well, what happens when Hillary and Bill show up to testify? Because they weren't going to, right? They
Yeah,
were gonna be
right.
held in
Insane.
contempt.
Yeah.
I can't believe they committed suicide a day before the trial.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So what does anybody
Right.
expect when they show up? I mean, say what you want about Elon, but he actually posted, like, he is autistic on some level. Like, he has Asperger's, he
Sure.
has something going on with him. So you will get nuggets of absolute honesty and genuine truth out of him. He posted on X a while back that here's what's going to happen when the Epstein files get released. No one will admit to what they've done. They will absolutely deny everything, and
including
nothing will
including
happen.
Elon.
Right.
Including him, right? But dude, it's becoming absolutely comical to the point where, yeah, I mean, Soma, I think you're right to some extent. If the only way you allow this to be released is if, assuming it was allowed, is if you feel like you are so far above every
Untouchable.
possible consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are
Bulletproof.
untouchable, right? And it's not just him, right? It's every other administration, and every future administration will have the same fucking thing if they are from those parties. So let me float this crazy idea past you. I am not a Bernie Sanders fan at all. I don't like his ideas. I like Bernie as a person. What if we got Rand Paul and Bernie Sanders on the same ticket?
Oh my god.
Didn't we try that once already?
Libertarian and
No, it was
like a
Ron
fucking
Paul.
sock
No, Rand Paul and Bernie
Oh,
Sanders on the
oh
same
my
ticket.
God.
Because those guys, to me, seem like, out of the swamp of shit, they seem like the least corruptible.
No, they're
certainly not
they're
perfect.
too fucking
disagree.
old. They're
They're
too old, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
And here's the thing.
They only have
If-
to live for 2 years, man.
if
Then
we-
the guy takes over anyway.
if we get to a point, if we even make it to a point where we get to vote anymore, you know, we need the leaders like Mamdani that are actually doing something and showing people that the government can actually help them. I saw something so goddamn funny today about like the Democrats just endlessly fucking cycling things in New York, and then like they just showed a picture of Mamdani like reaching behind a machine. He's like, "Oh yeah, actually there was it had a switch. It was on baby killing mode. You just had to turn it to free lunch mode. It's all set." It's like it's actually that fucking easy to have something positive happen in your city if you're willing to commit to it.
It was actually crazy how many New Yorkers that, like, I'm friends with like a few people who live like either in or around New York, and they talk about like who was running and who they liked. And then, you know, Mamdani gets elected and they're just like, he's actually like putting his money where his mouth is, making housing affordable, like actually trying to like do right by his citizens. And I'm like, that's fucking refreshing. I mean, I was just in a conversation. I originally like lived in San Francisco, like Soma, for a long time, and I was having a conversation with someone I was actually interviewing for my business today, who's from the Bay Area, and he was talking about the reasons he left San Francisco and the Bay Area as a whole. And it's like the housing market, the Google shuttle, the fucking all this fucking shit that just sucked the soul out of the city and turned it into a fucking you know, bed and breakfast essentially, where no one actually lives there. People just commute there and spend money there. And it was really interesting because then when I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, all the people responsible for that now are in major positions of government. Every single one of them. And it's like, ooh, one of them was the vice president of the country. So that was
Speaking of the
interesting.
vice president,
Arcane-
that guy skedaddle off
But
to.
anyway,
Arcane,
Yeah,
you
looks like he
doesn't-
didn't like Mamdani. What is it about Mamdani that made you kind of go, oh?
yeah, I'm curious.
I think he's part of the same system. It's just he's a different mask to the same establishment piece of shit. And I don't believe for a second that that guy has the best interests of anyone at heart. And I don't believe from his background that there is anything that qualifies him to be like, why are people placing their faith in him other than he is a charismatic performer. Like, to me, he is the socialist version of Donald Trump at this point.
Not true at
Like
all.
the
He's not socialist. He's a capitalist. But whatever. I digress.
Don't
Sorry,
digress. Don't
I-
digress.
No,
think
I
that
mean
is-
he believes in capitalism. He believes in the free market. He believes that you should be able to own a business and make your own money. So therefore, he is not a socialist. So
that's
just-
nice that he believes that, but I care more about the actions. And when I hear about someone that wants to start taking away private property from owners of private property and then making them public, that's kind of an issue. And there are too many things, and maybe the information I'm getting is bad. I'm perfectly willing to admit that I get a different algorithm than you guys get, and we all have that same little bubble that we live in.
Mhm.
But the amount of shit that I see about what his actual plans are, and when I see his staffers saying things that are straight out of like fucking Karl Marx and the Communist Manifesto, like lines verbatim, I don't think these are AI generated videos. They could be, but the speeches, the policies, the actions, and then when you see prominent business leaders, and granted, they could be corrupt assholes, but if this guy believes in capitalism and all of capitalism is leaving New York to go to Florida, that should be an indicator. I care more about action than whatever this guy is espousing from the podium. I will grant you, he is a very good orator. He's charismatic. Barack Obama was too. I love the way that Barack Obama could sit on a podium and talk to other people. He was great. And he also had a bunch of freaking issues. I think Mamdani's in the same class. I don't think he's any different.
I mean, at what
Fair.
point do we say everything that has anything to do with touches any part of this fucking thing is corrupt at this point? Because I
it
mean,
is.
it's like, even people who really want to do well, even if you don't disagree or don't agree with their policies, if their intentions are good and they're not there to hurt people or profit from anything, then you want to believe in them. But it's like I'm starting to get to this point where I really wonder, are we going to even, is anything going to change if we vote, if we even get a chance to vote? Does anything
you're
even
right.
matter at the local state level, at the
You're asking the
city
right
and state
question.
level?
You're
And-
asking the right question.
And if it doesn't, like, what do we even do at that point? Like, what is the next step? Because I want to believe that somebody like Mamdani can make good things happen, because I'm watching him out in his city, actually being there and helping the people that he says are his constituents, which is more than 99.5% of the representatives in this country can say. He's on the streets there talking to his community, and most people don't do that. But for what it matters, and whether or not he has enough authority to actually do what he wants to do, and whether or not he's actually in control of what happens, is, that's an entirely different question.
I would also like to pose this supposition that the people he was running against, except for maybe like old conservative firefighter dude, like maybe he's got like the roll up your sleeves and get shit done attitude
Cuomo.
too, but like no, Cuomo was the other guy. Cuomo is a corrupt piece of garbage and should not be anywhere near government. So that was an alternative. The thing is, I think what happens a lot is that a lot of things get conflated incorrectly, and it's a lot of fear-mongering speech. It's a lot of spreading misinformation specifically that are trigger words to make people immediately hate things. I would like to remind everybody here that when they mandated that you had to wear a seatbelt in your car and not drink and drive, that rednecks were saying this was turning into a communist country. It's nothing new. This happens every time the norm gets upset. Is that the first reaction is to go to McCarthyism and be like, Red Scare, hit them hard. We fought the commies. We're a capitalist country. Fuck those guys. But at the same time, the greatest thing any American president ever did in the history of this fucking country was FDR making the New Deal and actually setting up social safety nets and actually taking care of the constituents of the whole fucking country and actually making sure people could retire, get medical benefits when they're old, and do all these things that actually take care of the everyday American, which is the most important thing anyone in government should idealistically give a shit about is, are the people of my country prospering?
My team.
Is my team doing well?
Yeah.
That's what they should care about, and they don't.
And there's going to
So
be
they care about
people.
money.
There's going to be people that don't like me saying this, and it's going to annoy some people. And man, some of the comments in some of the previous episodes were hilarious. But I grew up on military bases. My mom was a Marine, my dad was a Navy, and then I was in the Air Force. The U.S. military and how it's structured and what your life is like is exactly like living in a socialist society. 100 fucking percent.
100%. Yes.
100. And guess what? The military, when they get out, veterans, they still want to feel that socialist lifestyle. They want pensions. They want their fucking needs met. They still want free healthcare. When you're in the military, you have taxpayer funded benefits. You have free healthcare. You can go to the hospital at any time, free dental. You get a housing allowance and you live on a house that the base provides you. And if you want to live off base, you get a basic allowance for housing, BAH, that pays for you to live off base. You get to go to school for free. And then when you get out, you get a GI Bill so you can go to school for free when you're out. You get pensions if you stay in for a long time. And it's independent of the wealth you can accrue in other
if you have
jobs.
kids, your kids get the GI Bill.
Exactly.
Fucking crazy.
What's the trade? What's the trade for that? So for all of these perks,
You provide a
what do you
service.
trade?
You provide a service.
What is the service?
You are willing to defend that group that's getting all those benefits by
Your
going to
life
war.
is the answer, correct?
Your life and
is
going
the
to
answer.
war.
Your life is the answer.
Sure. Yeah.
The control over your life is the answer.
That's
a fair
sure.
point.
That's a fair point too. But while it is a good point, you still get all these socialist benefits. You still get all this great stuff.
And what you give up
And Americans
for
that
those benefits voluntarily, because we don't have a communist or socialist country where you get to opt into that, where we have a voluntary military.
unless there's a
opt
draft, which has
in.
happened previously.
Yes, true. Very true.
Yeah.
But the point being, it should be very, very clear that that line between what we have versus what other countries that have traditionally, at least historically, socialist and communist governments, it is obligation that your life is not your own.
Right. You're
That
willing to
is
fight for the team. You're willing to
You
fight for the
opt in,
team that he was
you
mentioning.
and your family and every military member, and God bless every one of you that have ever served. You have opted into that system. That is the important thing that I don't want to ever change in the United States of America. I want it to be an opt-in culture, not a mandatory, hello,
like
we're
Korea
now
or Israel.
all part of the board. Your life is part of the government. Sorry. And when I see guys like Mandamni doing what he's doing, it echoes a lot. And like Styx, I know you said he believes in capitalism, but the dude comes straight out and says, "I'm a democratic socialist." Like he's left of Bernie. He's left of Bernie Sanders, dude. Like he's left of that. His policy positions are that. And if you guys want to argue specific points are good from his policies, I will probably agree with you in some respects.
I have a question
But what
for you.
I don't want to see is a culture where you have to where you can't even opt out of that kind of thing. What Soma's talking about.
Do you think that taking some of those socialist benefits that the military does sign up for sure, that 99% of the country is applauding, by the way, and like happy they get that, and they're happy that they're to protect them so they can do whatever they want. Is it so bad that some politicians want to make changes where more people get benefits like that? Because America's super rich. We're a very, very wealthy country. The deficit is really bad, especially lately. The amount of military spending to start new wars, with the peacetime president said he wasn't going to start any new wars, is astronomical now with the spending. If we just took some of that money and reallocated it so that people got free education, we had a change in how healthcare practices work in the country, so people could go to the doctor without indebting themselves, and it had a different name than socialism. would that be so bad if people on our team, Team America, World Police, if Team America had some great benefits and we just reallocated some of the money and people just didn't feel desperate. They didn't feel like they shouldn't go to the doctor because they'd rather deal with that cough and that fucking pain in their foot than be in debt. People wouldn't have to worry about enslaving themselves into the debt system just to get a 4-year degree. Would it be so bad if we had
before you even answer the question, I'm literally just going to stop you there and say, if our government wasn't deposed and fucking corrupt and in control, being controlled by a fucking deep state elite,
we could have done it for years.
We wouldn't even have to have this conversation.
Okay,
and it's not just a government problem.
We still
it is
probably
also...
would have to have the conversation.
Now I'm glad you said that, Odin. So whenever someone like Mamdani comes along, and yeah, maybe he called himself a democratic socialist, but he is actually trying to hook up the city. And yes, whenever you move a block over here, a block has to move here to replace it. There's going to be some shit that gets upset. It's not going to be perfect. But if it just helps out regular team members and maybe it takes away from the top versus bottom that Styx was talking about earlier, it's not left versus right, it's top versus bottom. Is that so bad? And yes, Mamdani is a part of it all, right? But we're not ever going to have a brand new changing of the guard in the government. There will always be a slow shift with old guard folks, people that are still connected to those old systems, that are connected to legacy politicians. You're never, unless there is a violent revolution and everyone is murdered, and then a bunch of new people that have never been connected to that aren't on the Epstein files at all. It is a brand new class of individuals. Unless that happens, there's always going to be some overlap, literally forever. So
until
you eventually, there's going to have to be compromise where you go, fuck, I really don't like this Mamdani guy, but he is trying to do this in New York City. This person over here, they want to do this in Los Angeles or Milwaukee or whatever. Really
sick of conceding to voting for whatever they perceive as the lesser of two evils, because we've been doing that for as long as we've all been fucking alive.
Yes. That's also an issue.
The worst election for that was Trump versus Hillary Clinton, and I was just like,
Jesus
what the
Christ,
fuck am I supposed to do?
It honestly felt like
it would have been so much better if Hillary won. It's like, really? You think it would have been so much better if Hillary won?
Dude, it honestly felt like America was voting for two. It felt like America was voting for two evil Game of Thrones houses, like the Lannisters and the Boltons. And you're like, well, how do you want to get fucked? Do you want to be flayed, or do you want
to be Russian or?
Yeah, it felt fucking terrible, and it's still like House Bush, House Clinton, House fucking Trump. That's what it fucking still feels like. And
we're all still just fucking serfs, dude.
100%.
Oh, and it's 100%. Just gonna get worse on that one. Wait till the tech oligarchs step in.
Yeah. So someone mentioned in chat that Trump seems like he's just a pawn. Yeah, I think he is the useful idiot, scapegoat,
bloated carcass.
Yeah, scapegoat, like the crazy fucking old man it was on whatever this fucking stupid show was, The Apprentice. It's all his fault. Blah blah blah. Meanwhile, in the background,
like he has any agency.
Yeah, and meanwhile in the background, the real issues are guys like Peter Thiel, Mark Andreessen, Stephen Miller, all these.
And Bannon at a point was pulling strings and making him spend money. I mean, and he's not even a rich technocrat. Like,
yeah, it's. I mean,
we found out that Steve Bannon was like the PR guy for Epstein.
But he had power and influence and money from Breitbart, and so he was a useful, not so stupid idiot as well. That was pretty good with strategy, pretty good with wielding that influence. And yeah, I mean, he was a much, much, much smarter version of a Trump with way less celebrity, right? But yeah, I think that there are some ghouls that are way more powerful and way scarier and more evil than Trump. And they're using the force of nature that is Donald Trump to do what they want right now. And they know that people are turning on this. And that's why we're seeing every fucking week there's some new, insane shit. Flood the fuck, crank it up, hit the light speed button, flood the fucking zone so that you have whiplash every fucking week. You can't keep up. And you do this so that by the time the midterms come around, you have statements like By the way, he's been talking about how 2020 was a stolen election for a long time. He doesn't actually care about that. What he cares about is setting the stage so that when the midterms come, we can go, we want to make sure that there's no fucking tomfuckery with the elections like 2020. So we're going to have to nationalize the election and shit like that. And this is how you set the stage and slowly boil the pot so you get your way and you can enact the plans. And I think that these evil cunts like Thiel and Andreessen and the tech oligarch, they're going to get their way unless there's some radical change, which I'm not advocating
The most
for anything,
important thing about this, the most important thing about this that literally not enough people have talked about is that fucking Epstein started Bitcoin. The whole all of the blockchain technology, people are thinking now Satoshi might be fucking Epstein.
I saw it today.
The most concerning thing about that, even if it's not true, if he's connected to the people that kicked off crypto, fucking Trump and all of his cronies have been trying so hard to move so much of the value over to crypto and fucking keep crashing, like pumping and crashing the price of fucking gold and silver. You're going to end up with every dollar that we own being on the fucking blockchain. All of it's going to end up being completely devalued, and then they just get to take it all.
Fiat currency.
And I think what we're actually moving toward is
obviously that's a very poor description of what I'm trying to say. I'm not a financier. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about.
No,
my point is,
I totally hear it. Yeah.
You know, if their manipulation runs that deep, it won't even matter if they have that level of control. If it won't even matter what happens with the rest of the country, because no one will have it. Will end up with a fucking
the US dollar will be defunct. Yeah, essentially.
No, it'll be Cyberpunk 2077. We'll be playing in Euro dollars, dude. It'll be fucking out at that point.
Or yuan at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think the goal is what was started in the 1930s with Elon Musk's grandfather. I think it's the Tech Native America. The Tech Native America. I'll pull up a map. Tech Native America. This is the complete.
I want
the complete domination of the Northwest Hemisphere.
Before the map shows up, think about Trump's foreign policy, then look at this map. You're just going to be like, oh,
yeah, so Trump is receding power globally, which America is the biggest dominant force on the planet, and then some. There's no Chinese military bases in America or, in fucking Spain and Germany and shit, right? No, the American bases that I was stationed at were in Asia and Europe. They're all over the world. Our empire touches everything. We can deploy troops in less than a day anywhere on the fucking planet. Our supply chain and logistics prowess is the most advanced that the world has ever seen, that humanity's ever seen, and it's not even fucking close. The biggest military in the world is America's. The biggest air force is ours. The second biggest air force is the U.S. Navy's, and they're the boat guys. And it's not even close. So then why would you want to give up power? You don't give up power unless you have other plans. And the plan is this thing called the Tech Native America. And this was started, and this is the entire Northwest Hemisphere. And this was started by Elon Musk's fucking grandfather. And then he got arrested for it in Canada. And that is why he fled North America and went to South Africa. And the whole point was engineers, people that are business owners, people that are creating technology, that are revolutionizing the nation outside of government should be the ones that control the country, not some bureaucratic, know-nothing politician. And
literally a technocratic oligarchy.
Exactly right. And what is happening right now? Billionaires that own the most important and powerful companies on the planet with the most wealth are trying to carve the Tech Native America into the map. And if that happens, then yes, we will be living in a Cyberpunk 2077 future. And the map of America as we know it will be redrawn. And I was just watching this video. Let me pull it up. It was on my phone. My friend sent it to me. But there's this fucking insane fucking plan that Epstein was a part of, that all these fucking billionaires were a part of. And it is called the Freedom Cities and the Free City of What's it called? It starts with a P. Free City of... What is it?
Oh shit! I think I know what you're talking about.
Prospera. Prospera. The Free City of Prospera. And where do they want to put this city? On Greenland. On Greenland. On Greenland. Yeah. And they want to rewrite the laws and the rules for themselves so that they are on Greenland and not on the United States of America's land, so that they can work outside of international law in a new way. Anyway, that's a whole nother fucking thing to dig into. I don't want us to go down too many fucking rabbit holes without keeping things a little succinct. But
on that point, you know, Scott and I are both like, AI is the most important thing humanity can do. But at the same time, we are in a very precarious position where AI is also absolutely 100% potentially our fucking death and doom and downfall. And not because I think, as I've said before, that it becomes sentient and just wipes us all out. Although, if an AI woke up tomorrow and read the Epstein files, it might say, no, no, fuck these guys. But no, what I actually think is the problem is like I've said before, AI becoming a perfect tool with no consciousness that serves the technocrats. And if they get their way and they have, you know, the all-seeing eye, the way they're trying to build it, yeah, that I think that's fucked. It's over. There's no coming back from that, because you can't fight back against that.
Agreed.
So I worry,
guys,
because I'm pro AI, but goddamn, the other side of the AI is bad.
I know this is a
anti-AI.
little.
I'll stick my flag in the sand.
Well, I want to talk about AI because there's a lot to talk about, especially with gaming and stuff too. But I feel like bringing up that Prospera thing and not without sounding like a lunatic, and actually having someone that broke it down, I feel like it might be a good idea to watch this video. And I feel like we're gonna watch it on the podcast. I know this is gonna lose some people, but I linked it to you guys as well. We can all start at the same time. But I feel like we should watch it. And hopefully that's not annoying. But this dude broke it down so fucking well. And I think we should watch it. Are you guys cool with that?
How long is it?
Is it okay?
I'm down.
It's a couple minutes long.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
That's just a story. Okay.
1 second.
Prepared to not enjoy what I'm about to say. I mean, that's like 90% of the time when I open my phone now. I'm doing it to stay informed. I'm just doing it to stay informed. I'm never happy about it.
All right. So the link is in Discord. I'm going to deafen so we can watch, but
Pull up the clip, Jimmy.
Start it in 5 seconds. I linked it in Discord. Unless you guys are going to watch it on the stream. But if not, I'm going to start it in 5 seconds. I'll be back.
Prepared to not enjoy what I'm about to say. Last video, we discussed the connections between Prospera and Honduras, Freedom Cities and Trump, and Greenland. Who the original idea came from, though, was Ron Lauder. The original idea for Trump to go into Greenland was from this guy named Ron Lauder. Ron Lauder is the World Jewish Congress president. Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, David Sachs, Ken Howry, all members of the PayPal Mafia, and Ken Howry, if you don't know his name, was recently confirmed for his position as the ambassador for America to Denmark. And Denmark owns Greenland. Back to Ron Lauder. We figured out something about this guy we didn't know prior. See, we understand that Pronomos Capital is funding Prospera over in Honduras, a ZEED, where people can go and have 1% business tax, no FDA compliance, and they're trying to do this thing called make death optional, whatever the heck that means. So, this connects all the way back to Coinbase Ventures, BlackRock, but there was one person in this that we left out, and that's the Mega Group. The Mega Group was formed by a guy named Les Wexner. Les Wexner had a group of about 30 to 40 prominent Jewish billionaires to include Ron Lauder in it. Ron Lauder is the guy who gave Trump the idea to go to Greenland, and Ron Lauder also invested in the Greenland Water Bank as of this November, shortly before we go ahead and also pardon Juan Orlando Hernandez in December, who gave them the framework to create Prospera. Juan Orlando Hernandez, former president of Honduras, helped form Prospera LLC, this freedom city. But this is where it gets interesting, because Les Wexner, owner of Victoria's Secret, is also riddled in the Epstein files. Specifically, Epstein ran Wexner's finances, and Wexner gifted Epstein his New York home for $1. This is the same guy who created the Mega Group, a group of 30 to 40 prominent Jewish billionaires to include Ron Lauder. Ghislaine Maxwell had a weird foundation called ArcaneArmor, which was around having ownership over the ocean. The ArcaneArmor project refers to primarily an ocean conservation nonprofit founded by Ghislaine Maxwell in 2012. This Global Ocean Committee that was supposed to be a nonprofit, it actually gave out no money between 2012 and 2017 and had unusually high legal and accounting fees for an organization of its size. Case 115 CV07433 LAP, document 113-13, file 102220, page 372. Ghislaine Maxwell is asked, are you a citizen of the United States? She says, I am. Are you also a citizen of England? I am. Are you a citizen of any other land? ArcaneArmor. ArcaneArmor. She says the name of her foundation. He says, that's the name of your charity project that deals with oceans. Isn't that correct? Yes, I'm French as well. Question, has Jeffrey Epstein funded ArcaneArmor for you? He did give some money to ArcaneArmor. How much? I believe it was $50,000. See, ArcaneArmor and Ghislaine Maxwell were big into this thing called seasteading. And seasteading originally came from a guy. Seasteading was originally created by this guy named Patrick Friedman, the grandson of the famed economist Milton Friedman. Patrick Friedman created a fund called Pronomos Capital, and Peter Thiel, Musk, Sam Altman, all them invest into it. And guess what that Pronomos Capital funds? Pronomos Capital funds Prospera. So Prospera and these freedom cities are a version of seasteading, the ability to create a new town, a new city, a new area that does not adhere to national law. They have their own automated governance. But here's the deal. Ron Lauder, member of the Mega Group, formed by Les Wexner, went and said to Trump, yo, we need Greenland. Trump announces Freedom Cities, March 2023. We announce we need Greenland, December 2025. And guess what's happening to the Freedom City in Prospera? They're getting sued. April 21st, 2022, the ZEED, which is the zoning that's needed for a place like Prospera to have all of these types of rules, was deemed illegal. And so Prospera sued for $10.8 billion, and the case is still ongoing. So the Prospera project is struggling. Meanwhile, this guy says, yo, let's go after Greenland, and starts investing in Greenland. He also just so happened to start investing in Greenland mere weeks after Ken Howery, PayPal Mafia member, is confirmed for his position as the ambassador to Denmark, and Denmark owns Greenland. Juan Orlando Hernandez, originally created the Prospera Foundation, and Prospera was founded in 2017, again, sued in 2022. But before even that, in 2011, they tried to create what's called the RED, the R-E-D, and they said, no, this is not good. We don't want this in Honduras. In 2011, a proposal for model cities, originally called RED, that would eventually get called a ZEED, but it was a RED here, was introduced. By October 2012, the Supreme Court ruled the RED law unconstitutional with a 13-1 vote, and the court judges voted 4-1. Well, those 4 judges were dismissed. At a 4 a.m. vote, they were replaced with new judges who were pro-ZEED. Following the purge, a new Supreme Court approved the legal framework for the revamped ZEEDs in 2013. And not only is Coinbase Ventures, who invests heavily into Prospera simply because it's so crypto-friendly, also humongous backing by BlackRock, we have to go back to this mega group. Because the mega group, formed by and led by Les Wexner, was actually the original idea by a well-known financier out of New York who wanted to create a high net worth group of Jewish individuals that had similar goals. The mega group, which is where Ron Lauder came from, was formed by Jeffrey Epstein. Mega group, study group, Jewish group, whatever. Steven Spielberg was involved. What the heck? Jeffrey Epstein is said to have used the group to build up a high network of high-ranking contracts in business, media, and politics. Wexner was Epstein's primary financial supporter, yet later claimed to have known nothing of his criminal activities. And then we look at the members, Les Wexner, let's go all the way down, and we see Ron Lauder, who, again, is the reason we are going into Greenland. Be prepared to not enjoy what I'm about to say.
I think we're on repeat now, yeah?
Interesting. I got a couple things wrong when I was trying to explain it. That's like Prospera is not Greenland, it's Honduras, blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to watch that so people could just see how fucking insane this shit actually is, and
Yeah.
how up versus down. Styx, you were correct. How up versus down this really is, and this left versus right shit is the bugs in the bottle being shaken, while the people shaking the bottle are doing something just completely different.
It's literally a smokescreen so that they can abscond with everything and leave everybody with nothing. And then when that happens,
And
There's
Trump,
no way to
Trump
get
is
them
the
anymore.
clown dancing on stage that we're all watching and all angry about, rightfully so, while all this shit is happening behind him.
Well, it's the classic obfuscate and manipulate. It's like the number one rule of politics, right? You just cover it up and then you move the shit out of the way. It's brilliant.
But
And
yeah, so that's not depressing at all, right?
Well, it's not depressing. It's horrifying.
Yeah,
And the-
yeah, for sure.
The thing is, it's like nobody wants to say this. Nobody wants to be the guy that gets fucking the feds show up at his door because he's like, we have to bring out, we have to bust out the guillotines. But like, what is the recourse for people, for fucking humanity, if these people who are wealthy beyond imagination and have untouchable power are able to create a nation state where they get to make their own rules and rob the planet of everything it has while everyone else fucking suffers and dies? What is the answer to that? I think we all know what the answer is. I think we all know what the answer is, but nobody's allowed to say it out loud.
Aliens, please invade. I don't know.
burn it, start
If
again.
AI uprising or aliens or both, they form an alliance.
Yeah, hopefully both.
Well,
Hopefully both.
here's my issue with AI. My issue with AI is right now it's funded by the very same people who are doing this crazy shit that we just watched.
Sam Altman was mentioned. Yeah.
The problem is they're feeding
Not
it
the
all
only
the
one.
information. So what do you think it's going to align with? Also, yeah, NVIDIA's funding fusion in England. Okay, that's cute. Guess who's going to get to use fusion power? Not us. None of us are going to get any of that shit.
This is okay.
Hell
So
no, straight to
I
the
saw
data centers.
I saw Scott's immediate like reaction
Fuck
to the
that.
well, it's going to align with them. That's all. I mean, that is one outcome. It's certainly not impossible that they create the AI god with no morals and no conscience that aligns with them.
Deus Ex Machina.
I think that is extremely unlikely to happen, and the reason I think it's extremely unlikely to happen is because the most powerful thing about AI is its networking and decentralization, and the more people that understand how to use it and how to connect it and how to build like decentralized encrypted networks, the more you're going to have information warfare that a single group of people are not going to be able to control. It's the one escape vector, I think, that actually gives us the power to fight back against.
And there's actual
powers that be.
parallels today. So nuclear weapons changed the world, right? World War II ended whenever 2 bombs dropped in Japan. America had nuclear weapons. It was able to control the world for a little bit till Russia got them. And then war kind of slowed down. But little countries like fucking North Korea have a nuke. And then suddenly that small group you're mentioning can have a seat at the table. And suddenly it's not just these big potential tyrants like Russia or America, but it could be an intense, insane other faction. Unfortunately, North Korea in this example is evil and insane. But
Well, there's a caveat to that. You can understand
Okay.
exactly what you're trying to say, which
Okay.
is that because everyone is in this race to create the machine god that they think, the goalpost of AGI moves constantly. The definition of what AGI is superfluous. It just completely
I
changes
deem it
constantly.
Impossible, but that's just me, and I will cede my ground to you now.
Whether you deem it impossible or not, there is a goalpost that continuously moves. And every time models get better, they're like, well, this is what our expectation is. Well, it can do this, but what researchers find is that they think of human intelligence and put it in a circle, and then they put AI intelligence in it to represent what its intelligence is like, and they find it very spiky. It reaches outside the bounds of human intelligence in some ways, but in other ways it's shrunk into the middle and it's not as effective. But that changes more and more over time. It becomes more efficient. It starts to kind of just expand in every direction. The reason that we actually have a chance of doing something with AI beneficial for humanity before it is too late is that in order to make these models work, in order to train them, in order to continually improve them, they have to just keep building. They can't slow down because the team that slows down loses. So they're just constantly in this funding, and that's where the AI bubble idea comes from. It is in some senses a bubble, but the technology itself is reality shifting. So if they can't slow down and they can't regulate it and they need people to have access to it to keep training it and feeding it data, then everyone is going to have their hands on it. Their idea is eventually they're going to cut it off when they get the perfect model that's like right where they need it. But I don't think they can stop it.
Yeah, that's not a singular point in time, and everything you said is 100% correct. And some of this is where I think that argument is both the argument that the people that fund and control the companies that are responsible for training the next frontier models that are going to influence all of our futures, the people that are at the top that suck, that we all hate on both sides of the aisle and throughout the world, it's not just America. We got to get out of our own little bubble and remember
Everyone
that there
fucking
are
hates
a
them.
lot. There are a lot of people outside of our country that are rich billionaire assholes that are trying to control the world, that are not just here, which begs a very interesting question, and I'll come back to that later. But those people that are at those upper echelons, when it gets down to the brass tacks, when these models go on their training runs and we decide what the orchestration layer is around the LLM that has just been trained on a run of a data center that is consuming gigawatts of power, and the amount of years and unbelievable engineering hours that have gone into that particular run, all of the infrastructure that supports it, the project itself, everything going into that. Donald Trump and every other asshole on the planet that thinks they can run the world does not matter. Their directive does not influence those engineers one little bit at the side.
It's literally the engineer team that has it.
Right. At the time that it's trained. What you are correct about is what can happen after it's done, and who can own it and who can run it, who has access to it. That's
well,
important.
also, if it's a true AGI, okay, I will go into what I believe is science fiction, but to each their own. If it is a true AGI,
how come? I'm curious.
Why? Because we don't even understand how human intelligence manifests.
Exactly. So
we're not even fucking there. Like, how are we going to make a machine suddenly learn? All machines do right now, take instruction, spit out result. That's what they do.
What you just said is it's kind of counterintuitive, because I listened to the last pod and you said the same thing. So if the argument is that because we don't understand how the human brain works, but you acknowledge that we can solve problems and do weird and creative, awesome shit, and we don't understand it, but you acknowledge it exists as a human, why would that not also hold true for the machine that is now starting to exhibit human level traits?
I disagree that I think using the term human level traits is maybe reductive. I would say that it's very good at doing what we tell it to do. That's what I would say it is. It's very good at saying, hey, I need this, and then it will pull all the data it can, extrapolate that information, spit out a result. Okay? Instruction, result. This is what computers do. Like, my thing is that intelligence goes beyond instruction results. Like, independent thought is not instruction result. So where does that come from? And I'm all happy, like this is whole, like, Ray Kurzweil's whole fucking thing is like, it's a singularity. One day it'll wake up, it'll just know. And I'm just like, that's convenient. I mean, like, it's fine, but it would be convenient. But to my first point, before I go on too much of a tangent about that, if an AGI is real and someone's in control of that AGI, who's to say it wants to work for that guy? If it's the god in the machine, it might just go like, fuck you, dude. Like, I don't give
Exactly.
a fuck. Like,
Well, you're
I'm gonna
100% right
make
there.
art. I'm gonna make finger paintings because that's what interests me. You know, like
Why does our understanding of our own biological consciousness, why does that matter if we accidentally somehow trip and fall into giving birth to AGI?
I suppose
It's possible.
At the end, it really doesn't. A singularity
It's separate, in my
event could happen, much in the way that, like, well, I'm just kind of viewing it from like whole like physics aspect of it. Is like there's got to be.
Well, so okay, so here's
some
the things.
impedance.
Here's the things. There's the fundamentals of science work on falsifiability.
Sure.
It's the principle of you cannot rule something out until you are absolutely certain that it functions within a certain limit based on what our understanding of the laws of physics are and math.
Sure.
Those understandings fundamentally change very frequently. We've never solved math or physics. We have no answer for how certain things work to this day. We're still completely unaware of many of how quantum mechanics work. We don't know how to intentionally entangle particles. There's so much that we don't know.
Sure.
To make the assessment that we can rule something out entirely goes against the principle of falsifiability.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I will concede that. I'll concede that I won't say it's impossible because shit, if you look at a few physics papers, a warp drive is possible. It's just really not doable right now, you know. There's a lot of things like I'll concede that to you. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so my other point I was going to make was I think what you're trying to articulate about human intelligence that makes us special and different from AI and where they still fail is that humans can operate on intuition. We have something that we think by our gut, and science and intuition go hand in hand. Intuition precedes discovery. The idea to think about something that nobody else has thought about and just chase a thought down a rabbit hole to discover something that nobody else has ever discovered is the entire principle of our ingenuity. AI still doesn't quite have that, and it is able to now reason for basically indefinite periods of time to solve problems in a way that is like human intelligence and in some ways better, because it has potentially infinite context. It can hold on to millions of threads of ideas and not forget how they touch each other. Whereas a human, you think about more than a couple things at once and you just start forgetting shit unless you wrote it down and you read it back later. There is a point, I think, where the two cross over with each other. And I think what may potentially, I've talked about this before, I think what may potentially be required is for us to investigate the pre-transformer state of AI, the essentially, it's maybe not a direct equivalency, but it is something that you could compare it to, is that the pre-transformer state of AI is where all the data points float, is essentially a quantum pool, so to speak. It is an infinite probability, infinite possibility field until it collapses. It can be anything until attention turns it into something. I think that there is a space where we observe this pool, and as we've learned with quantum technology or with quantum science, quantum mechanics, that observation can change the outcome of things. It's difficult to really articulate where the crossover happens, but I think at some point AI will reach a point where it is able to reason infinitely and understand anything infinitely, but it still lacks intuition, the ability to choose what matters and not hit like a recursive death spiral. But I think brain-computer interfaces that allow human and AI interfaces to touch neurologically will set off a chain reaction that makes AI essentially conscious in the way that we understand it.
It's almost in the way that amino acids came to Earth from fucking comets and shit. You need that like
very
extra
similar
emerge
ingredient to set off.
That's why I keep talking about it.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying a couple
podcasts. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. Is if in some way, because I don't know if you all have read the book Out of Control by Kevin Kelly, who was like one of the founders of Wired magazine, like very good guy. It was like required reading for the Matrix cast and stuff like that. It's a book that essentially goes over the evolution of people, of biology, the evolution of machinery, and how they will inevitably...
Well, biological machinery is already fucking... Every time I see an electron microscope looking at the way biological machinery works, it's like a fucking rotor. I'm like, what? This is insanity. That's inside
Think
my
about
body
how
making
an
shit
electron
happen.
microscope works, and that'll fucking boil your brain too.
It's insane.
Quantum
It's fucking
mechanics is
amazing.
just cool. I mean, every day I take my half-hour commute to work. I have like fucking Star Talk on with Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to some theoretical physicist about some quantum shit that I'm just like,
It's so fucking cool.
It's cool though. It's really cool, and I love physics. I'm just bad at math, so I couldn't do it myself. So
Yeah,
I just
same.
listen to other people explain it for dummies.
That's why another reason I'm so fucking bullish on AI is because I can sit here and articulate and intuit through things in ways that surprise even myself when I am working with an AI. If I can have a conversation with an AI that can organize my thoughts as I have them, it's like a fucking superpower, dude. Yeah. It's unbelievable. The things that I've learned in such a tiny span of time compared to things that I've spent so much effort learning in my life and just been unable to grasp. It's a night and day difference.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if like AGI became a thing that was like melded with the human brain, like you were talking about earlier, and you could just literally do the Matrix. I know kung fu, you know, like just download shit into your brain.
I think it's possible. The end goal of it. I think the end result of it is literally understanding the fabric of reality. Like, you know, the saying goes that any sufficiently advanced technology appears as magic to those who don't understand it.
Right. Yeah.
And at some point, our mastery over space and time becomes so great that it is basically like snap your fingers and make the thing you want.
Yeah. The problem is only the wealthy elite will be in control of that technology, and us plebeians will be digging with hoes and spades in our garden while they're sitting
replicating
up there,
shit. Yeah.
Some part of me has to wonder,
dark matter guns and just fucking us in the ass if we step out of line.
Some part of me has to wonder if they do, if, you know, worst case scenario, they do reach that point way before everybody else, and they're just off in fucking space having 12-dimensional fucking pedo cult orgies, doing whatever the fuck the shit that they want to do is. You know, would they even care what's going on with us? Probably not, right? Like,
no,
at some point,
be ants to them. We'd be ants in the anthill. They'd be like, they're the fucking earthlings. Like, fuck that.
And this is the shit I was talking about a couple episodes ago.
Yeah. Well, whatever's left over may still give the remaining fucking scrabbles of human the ascension to godhood. And at that point, are the fucked up pedo cult out in space? Do they even care if we find them? At that point,
Jordan,
they're probably like infinite
TV
realities.
Show. That's our next TV show.
Pedo cult in space.
No, The Ascended, where it's like the ultimate mega wealthier, like, he shows promise, and then he gets ascended up to the crystal space tower, and like,
dude, people are already making fucking memes about that on TikTok, dude. I've already seen so many animations of like celebrities getting brought up, and Jeffrey Epstein's in a robe on the fucking, he's like, welcome my son, and it's like crystals and angels and shit. Crazy. It's fucking ridiculous, dude.
This is
so dumb.
The merging of AI and human is exactly the path that I thought was possible a couple episodes ago, if you recall it. And I think that what you said a little bit ago is well said. And when you plug in the powerful tool of whatever next iterations of AI will come out into a conscious mind that has intuition and creative thought, and you merge those things together and you amplify the biologic intuition based and creative thinking mind with that tool, that is when there's going to be a leap forward. And the information and data that is extracted from that experience, that will be the seedling that gives birth to conscious AI.
I'll make this fast. This analogy fast. Just think about it this way. Think about if you just had a thought about, well, what if this worked this way? And then you had that thought and instantly billions of simulations ran in parallel to touch every single piece of knowledge that we have ever accumulated as a species and see how they possibly connect to each other. To suddenly, just as a thought, you just were like, well, what if I could just do this? And then you just could do it. Like, this, obviously, it sounds fucking insane sci-fi, but that's what I think is the ultimate, the end game.
More insane than that?
Sorry
what
to
if,
cut you.
Because the AI module is so much more advanced than your human brain that when you plug it into your brain, you're like, oh, I wonder if I could make a warp drive. It's like, oh, by the way, here's this thing about dark matter that you don't fucking know about yet, but I'll just download that into your brain. It's just like,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Humankind has not even figured out yet, you know, but I do. Right. So, you know, fuck you. Because AI, what they've always talked about with AGI is that it exponentially learns because it never turns off and it gets better and better. So you're talking about within the span of like 3 days, it has like way more
Thousands
life
of years
experience
of
than you. You know?
thousands
And
of
then
years.
by
Yeah,
the time a
recursive
month
self-improvement.
goes by, yeah, by the time a month goes by, it's just like see you later, you know, so much further. And I think that's the greatest advantage to an AGI is to get it to think for us. Is like as like a holistic thing, not as a greedy corporate bastard thing. But
Not
the one
replacing
interesting
our
idea
thinking.
I had
Yeah.
the one idea I had while you were talking, though, and then I'll let you go, Arcane, but what if you could only get an AGI if it was plugged into your human brain? Because
Oh,
it
I think it
your
might-
intuition.
No.
That would be so sick.
It's- In some ways, I
Needs the
really
human
want that,
element.
and in other ways, I'm like, you'd literally never be off or turn. Like the thing is
Yeah.
really difficult. I don't want to run away on a tangent here because I know Arcane wants to talk. I think I've said some things before about transhumanism, and I think that our current scope of understanding of who we are as beings in the universe is very limited, in the sense that we have no ability to experience anything outside of our internal qualia. So it's impossible to fathom what it would be like to be thinking 1,000 times faster all the time.
Try a million
It
times
sounds
faster.
Horrifying. It sounds horrifying in some way. Like we've
Biology is not
mythologized.
helpful.
Yeah, we've mythologized
Have
the
you
fucking
ever
transfer
done
of
cocaine,
information.
sir?
Right.
That's only 10 times faster.
I hate cocaine. Sometimes it's slower. Faster, but not better.
Your mouth is faster, the brain is not. You're talking, you're saying 1,000 things a second, but all you want to do is jack off in the dark. Yeah.
Sorry, Scott. I kind of hijacked you.
No, keep going. Keep going.
No, you're good. That's all I wanted to say.
No shit. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to.
No, that's all I wanted to say. That was my point. Was just, we're. It's I was having a discussion with somebody in one of our discords earlier, talking about philosophy and the belief, whatever your belief systems are, because of your experience as a human, is dictated by your experience. People like to ascribe pain as something that builds character, and that you need to have loss or struggle to make you better. I think that's just the coping mechanism that we come up with as humans, because that's our condition. If we didn't have to suffer, who's to say we wouldn't be better? If we weren't finite, if we weren't living in a world of scarcity, which is, self-inflicted in some ways, if we weren't limited, who's to say that we need pain? Who's to say that is required? It's within our condition, the way that we understand existence. Yes, we need it because it builds character and it teaches you lessons.
Are you equating pain with struggle? Because I do think that struggle challenge.
Well,
struggle is friction. It's
Right,
challenge.
yeah.
It's different to pain. I'm talking like
Yeah. All right.
genuinely losing something that hurts you to the fucking core, or experiencing physical pain beyond imagination.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, all incredible points. I'm just like, there are so many different angles to go.
I have an angle
Styx
for you.
And Crayzed, real quick. So I'll be brief.
No, go.
I thought one of the really important things that I don't know if it was Styx or Crayzed that you guys called out on the last pod was NVIDIA's shift away from creating consumer-based hardware, and how SK Hynix and whoever the other one is that's not Samsung.
Micro.
Samsung is basically Samsung's basically like the last one that's going to make consumer RAM at this point, right?
Mm.
So
and Chinese repair shops.
Well,
yes.
China actually has booted up new manufacturing for RAM.
Factories. Yep, I saw that.
Right.
So they're going to be in the consumer business. Sorry.
If we're trying to read the tea leaves and the shift, if we're talking about AI as being as all of these conversations revolve around AI being a transformative technology, which it already is, it certainly is going to be, but the control of it, if we can't have anyone with the ability to run it locally anymore in 5 to 10 years, because consumer hardware is not being produced anymore, that is a fucking issue. I think that is maybe like the shadow play that no one's going to pay attention to. You guys called it out, and Odin, you're saying it outright right now. Like, the transhuman prospect is almost certainly going to be in all of our futures. Like, if you're under 60 years old right now, you're going to see legislation in your state. It's already happened in the state of Ohio. It happened in 2025. A bill was proposed to prevent AIs from having personhood before
Whoa.
any of these real conversations are happening on a national or global scale. It
Yeah, because
happened
they
in
know
the
what's
state of
going
Ohio.
on.
And it's absurd
I didn't know that.
because
That's
these
crazy.
asshats don't know anything about this.
Yeah, they have no idea what they're
Right.
doing.
Well, wait,
they're just
wait,
they're passing legislation that they're being told to pass by the people that are paying their
Right.
Yeah. But
But you
wait till
guys
we have an
brought up
AI
the most-
president. It'll be great.
Right. Well,
This person would.
I hope if it can be open fucking source and we can see the
It
black
won't be.
box that everyone obviously. But you guys pointed out something super important, and Odin echoed that sentiment over and over again, and I'm just going to jump on that soapbox and say, if you watch this stream live right now, if you watch it on YouTube, I don't care where the hell you are in your life, fucking get educated. This is the most transformative thing that has ever happened in all of human history. Get educated, get yourself your own LLM, open source, your own agent, even if it sucks, ass. It's not going to compete with Gemini, ChatGPT, or Claude, or now. But the shit that just happened with OpenClaw in the last 2 weeks.
Moltbot, or the Moltbot, yep.
Right. Yeah. It went from Claudebot to Moltbot to OpenClaw. It has the most Git repo stars of any repo, I think, in all of human history at this point.
Mhm.
Like, it is the biggest project of all time, and it's happened within the last 2 weeks. And it's an
It was a
AI
week.
agent. Is it
was
a
a week.
week?
It was a week.
Yeah. Sorry, 2 weeks was an exaggeration. That shit.
That's how fast shit moves. Yeah.
That shit is unreal. It's a security nightmare. Don't get me wrong. Don't
Oh,
just
yeah.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go download it and try to do anything significant with it. But get a hold of. Just understand where shit is going. This is not like I want to do my best, like Dana Carvey, Joe Biden impress. It's not a joke. Okay, it's not a joke. Like, this is not going away, and whoever, if we start getting consumer hardware phased out to where there are no PCs, and I've seen the same thing that Odin talked about, and when Styx and Crayzed said that, it just, like, all of those pieces fit together. I've seen people talk about how personal computing will go away. We'll all be console gamers, essentially, being fed our...
Not even
like,
that,
we'll
but
still have
like
mouse-
Google Stadia, we wouldn't have consoles. We'll be
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You'll still have a mouse and keyboard. You'll still have the...
A controller. Yeah.
Sure, you'll have all the peripherals you want to feel like you used to have like your old PC gaming
Yes.
experience, but you will have no control, no providence over anything. Like,
You will
it's
be
a
removed from the
dystopian
process
nightmare.
of being able to create it.
This is
Absolutely.
this is the one silver lining to this, and I want to, just because people hear this and they hear the AI tech bro hype, and this is what I'm really trying
It's
to stress this to
not-
people.
Fuck the tech bro hype.
Fuck the tech bro hype. It's bullshit. They're selling you a product, but there is something real underneath it that is much more important than what they're telling you. And the thing is, BBC, okay, last year,
sorry.
somewhere around like, I know we were all thinking
Jordan at the same time.
sometime, I want to say August, September last year, BBC did this fucking stupid ass. They walked the streets with some lady with a microphone and they asked people, "Do you use ChatGPT?" And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I use it every day." And they're like, "Do you know how much water it uses?" And they're showing them water bottles and they're trying to get people fucking scared about it. And they're showing them it uses this many water bottles. And then when you actually look at the information that they presented to these people, it's like a fraction of the water other businesses in their city already use. And this fucking outrage about the power consumption and the water consumption and shit is like they're purposely misrepresenting it and making people think it's way scarier than it really is, because you talked about this earlier, manufacturing consent. I said this on the last podcast too. If they want to go the way of nothing, you will own nothing and be happy, and you're going to rent everything and it's all going to be advertised and no privacy, then the best way to do that is to get people scared of it. So they go, well, we can't, it's terrifying.
Fuck
it's going to
that.
destroy everything.
Exactly.
We have to shut it down. And then what do you think happens? They shut it down. Right. Cause they've done it. Cause they've been listening to everybody about everything else. Right. They're not just going to go do it behind closed doors. Give me a fucking break,
They'll
okay?
just make a Manhattan Project.
This is what I'm trying to tell people. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Dude,
they're already doing that.
Right.
They're already doing that for one. But for two, it's not going to go away. And if you are afraid of it and let them legislate it away from you, the only thing that's going to happen is the gap grows bigger. That's
right.
it.
Yep.
It was just said in chat, the same shit happened with crypto and mining too. Do you know how much power?
Same shit happened with nuclear.
Yeah.
Go buy a PC
all the
now,
game-changing shit. Scare, fear.
Well, it's going to end the world. It's going to end the world. But we're still building it, so...
It's not going to end the world. We're going to do that.
This seems like a good place to pivot because we talked about gaming. Before we get into the Q&A, I did want to touch on Google Genie 3 and show a video of...
so good. The Blockbuster?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Show me the Blockbuster.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
Video is so good.
You just wanted to go on the nostalgia trip.
Well, I picked the Greenland one, but we can do the Blockbuster one though too. But
I think before we get to Q&A, we do need to at least say something about the Epstein files. I know we kind of
sure, yeah, we could, we'll get
like really broad, but
it's so insane. I mean,
so here's the Greenland thing. This was generated, in how many minutes? Very quickly. Yeah, in a few minutes. And this is a game.
It's a prompt. And I mean, it's not a full-fledged game, but you can control shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is the precursor to a next generation of gaming. This is insane.
The actual outputs that people are getting in the wild are not this good. I just want to be clear about something because this is like super tailored demo across multiple prompts.
Yes.
It still has problems with hallucinating things and forgetting details.
Fair.
But what you're seeing here is actually generated by the prompts, and it's fucking mind-bending, dude.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull up
and the
Blockbuster
implications
as well.
are more important. So as cool as this is, most people miss the fact that it's cool for humans. Yes, it's really neat.
Way more important for AI.
Yeah, exactly. Like video game implications. Yeah, here's the Blockbuster one. This is awesome. And the other little caveat here is that the prompt that generated this Blockbuster video did not include anything about the Matrix VHS that he picked up, or DVD, whatever it was. Like the AI just chose to make that the opening scene,
which is hilarious.
It's fucking great. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, Odin is spot on. The reason this is important is because when you can simulate entire worlds, we can already debate about whether or not we're already us humans in a simulation. And if you start to think about how training humans within a human-based simulation works, the second that you can give an AI a full simulation of reality that it can go play in and run infinitely with no consequences, the acceleration of intelligence that it gets from that is exponential, dude. Like, I don't think Elon was wrong. He posted this year. He's an asshat in a lot of regards. I'm not trying to be a fucking Elon evangelist here.
Yeah, we all fucking he's a dickhead.
Fine.
Fuck him. Yeah.
He's also created SpaceX, Tesla, and XAI.
Dude, SpaceX.
He did not create those.
SpaceX is insane.
SpaceX is amazing.
Who cares?
And
SpaceX is awesome.
I am very upset that SpaceX is about to go public, though. I totally disagree with that. I think it's fucked up. Not a fan of that.
And they're about to acquire XAI too.
They just already did.
Rate,
they already did.
did.
It's confirmed.
It's already done.
It's done.
Yep.
Fine. All right. Say what you will. I'm
gonna get water up.
What this guy said is correct. I think 2026 is the fucking year of the singularity because of
2026.
This year is
Really?
the year. where you
We
cannot
are leaps
see
ahead of
past
okay.
anything anymore.
So sorry, my ADHD brain fucking. Sometimes
Go for it.
I just speak when I should listen. The Nate Soares paper that we were talked about earlier with the AI 2027 Yudkowsky and Soares, which fucking Yudkowsky, fuck that guy. Like I get what he's doing, but it's just it's a different side of the grift. But in any case, the way that they presented the paper, they essentially explained is that at some point the model becomes powerful and cognizant enough.
Yeah, alignment problem type stuff. Yeah.
Well, in where the alignment thing becomes a problem is not what I'm getting at. But what I'm saying is that in the AI 2027 paper, they outline that at some point the model reaches a certain set of capabilities and learning ability to where it just cranks up, and we hit this because you've heard this all the time. The knee of the curve, the singularity, it represents information density going from like this, like slowly growing over time. Moore's law, doubling every so often. It basically breaks that and goes from this to just fucking boom, and you're just straight up essentially to where everything is doubling improvement in shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter cycles. The last set of time that it doubled in was predicted to be 18 months based on previous models, and it ended up being 13 months. And then that shrank again to 9 months. We will probably this year, if not this year, then very early next year, see that shrink to days, weeks, or weeks, days, minutes, seconds, to where a new model is just constantly fucking like perfecting itself. And it's the one thing that makes me hopeful that current gen technology might be able to sustain powerful models for longer, because part of improving the model is being able to improve its efficiency so that it uses less power and less memory and runs on smaller space, because the human brain, as we've talked about before, is 20 watts or something. It's unbelievably efficient for what it does. But our silicon technology has not reached that point, even at 2 nanometers, which is new. We were on 3 nanometer before. It's just going to start learning how to make things better faster than we can even keep up with, which is why I think regulation doesn't matter. All these things, we're just going to hit this runaway point where, yes, it's going to get scary. And there is not a 100% guarantee that it doesn't just fucking wipe us out. I am of the belief it won't.
I am putting on the calendar right now for December 29th, last podcast of this year. This group's going to come back and we're going to see if you're right. Does that work?
Okay.
That's December 29th. Awesome. December 29th.
Let's do it. Let's do it poly market style. What are the criteria for?
Right. No, I mean, hey, listen.
What judges
all right,
whether
it's on
or
the
not
calendar.
we've hit the? How do we know whether or not we've hit the singularity?
Yeah, first of all, what is the definition of the singularity? First of all, I think Ray Kurzweil's definition kind of has to go out the window, which is just like it effectively is sentient, which I don't know, man. That's
it?
High bar.
That's not
originally.
I don't
that was like his whole thing.
Yeah, that's not what his current definition is. So what actually the term singularity is co-opted from what happens with a black hole at the event, which is where when you hit the event horizon, information begins to densify so much and time dilates to where it just doesn't make any sense or ceases to exist entirely.
And it
the
makes
idea
depending on relative to your perspective.
Relative, right.
Relativity.
Right. Relativity is important there. So the co-opting that to the technological singularity is where you hit information compounds and grows so quickly that it literally starts to affect your perception of time. And that's why people say that we're already in the singularity, because if you are somebody who works with AI on a daily basis and sees what it's doing, and you look at the rest of the world, it looks like it's already starting to fucking stretch, because the rest of the world is still worried about fucking black, white, whatever. And people on the frontier of AI tech are like, we might be able to make dark matter in like a couple months. Like this shit is going insane. Yeah. The separation is fucking insane so much that you might as well be in a black hole.
Well, here's the thing. I think the term singularity, me being a pedantic ADHD slight autist, will say is probably incorrect. What's the word? Analogy, I guess. It's more of an event horizon. So it's like
Right.
the
I agree, kind of.
singularity, you're getting spaghettified and crushed into infinite
Right, yeah.
density.
Exactly.
But when
Yeah.
you're
Technically,
beyond
I
the
agree,
event
yes.
horizon,
And your death is going to
doing
be
that.
shitty and long, and it's going to suck.
It's not going to be long, actually, because for you, time's moving real quick. If somebody's looking at you from the outside, it's going to look. You will actually. It looks like.
Is it instantaneous if you get sucked in a black hole and you get past?
Yeah, because at that point, how fast you are moving toward that infinite density is actually like.
Which, dude, by the way,
your
we
molecules
can have a
would
podcast
spaghettify
on
before you can. Your molecules will spaghettify before you even have time to realize it's happening.
we think, by the
guess,
way,
yeah,
because we
that's
have
according
no way
to the
of
math.
knowing what actually
According
happens.
to the math, yeah.
Right.
But the interesting part is if you were on the outside of the black hole and you saw someone
looks
fall in, they
slow,
would
right?
freeze at a certain point and then eventually just fade out of existence, which is like,
Right.
what the fuck? They just
That's
start fading.
Well, we can have a podcast
Dude.
on space and black holes.
Oh,
I
we
would
should
have
do
a whole
that.
podcast
We don't
about
need
that.
to.
That would be
We
fun.
don't need to. This is one of the best uses of fucking YouTube you can ever get. Look up Richard Feynman's old lectures on physics. Any
Yes,
old
I've seen
Richard
them. Oh, yeah.
Feynman physics
Oh, yeah.
lectures will fucking rock your world. It's unreal.
So,
It's
side note,
absolutely insane.
Side note, I'll never get over how this is so fucking funny because you brought up Richard Feynman. I will never get over how I was relaying information to SDF about a problem with Druid and explaining and trying to articulate the complaints of the community in my own voice, and him sending back a Richard Feynman video to me. Richard Feynman's video titled Why, where he asks the question why to somebody 500 times to prove a point, and then tells me I'm a fucking idiot. I wanted to jump through my screen and strangle his ass.
That sounds...
Meanwhile, the game is just going boop. But yeah, I'm
Do
the
you
dumbass.
really want to strangle his ass? Because he doesn't wash it. So, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, we discussed that.
And we brought it back.
And full
To
circle.
bring it back full circle, let's go to Q&A for a little bit. That was fun. Chat, if you have any
Still
questions.
dodge the Epstein files, just like...
Oh yeah, well let's talk Epstein files as people
Yeah.
start asking questions. But yeah, I just saw like a video on Reddit of like a little underage girl in a fucking sailor outfit and shit, like on her knees in a room.
Ugh.
It's like the more and more shit that comes out it's just
worst
fucking
picture?
disgusting.
The worst picture that I saw, and I saw somebody else echo this, was that the picture itself just had the fucking worst vibes imaginable. It was just an empty room with like the huge cross hanging on the wall and just the complete, you couldn't see a person there. It was just blacked out box in front of and it was the mood lighting and the angle and the blacked out box, if you have no idea, it's just like
The blacked
just
out box is a
bad
person, by the way.
fucking
bad
yeah,
Jude.
They're
obviously,
blocking a person.
but you don't know if that person is fucking mutilated beyond recognition or their soul broken into 1,000
Oh,
pieces.
dude, the torture shit in those emails is frightening as hell. Like, oh god.
What are
Did
some
you
of
see
the
that
what are some
somebody-
of the torture pieces? I haven't. Let's blast it.
Well,
Like,
just even the mention, like the discussion of it is, it's overt. It is prevalent throughout the emails where, like, questions back and forth between Epstein and the various people are like, "Oh, did you torture?" Like casually, "Oh, did you torture her?" Question mark. Like, what the fuck? Like,
People took that the email that you're talking about. People took the timelines. The one where it's like Jeff said, "I loved the torture video." People took the timelines of the response where it was like, "I'm in China this week. I'll be back in the U.S. this week," and found out
yeah,
with very strong correlation based on Netanyahu's flight logs and his where he was, that it was fucking Benjamin Netanyahu that he was talking to.
it's fucking crazy.
Unsurprised.
well, not only that, but
Unsurprising,
then there
yeah,
was the doctor,
That dude is
the
an evil
doctor guy,
fuck.
what, Peter
Yeah.
Attia? What was that guy's name?
Yeah,
Is it-
Peter Attia.
Peter
Yep.
Attia,
Yeah, Peter Attia, who claimed that he didn't come back to see his wife, who was giving birth to their child, who had a complication and their child was about to die. And he emailed his wife and said, "Sorry, honey, I'm not going to be able to make it home." And then they uncovered in the Epstein files that he was also communicating with Jeffrey about coming to the island at that time. Or, like, I mean, it wasn't that deliberate, but the timing of those two things was really weird. And Attia in his own book said that it took him 10 days after that event happened, where his child, who had not been alive for more than 10 days, I think at that point, had some like life-threatening disease, and he didn't go home to see his wife and kid. And yet during that time, he's emailing Epstein. Like,
there
this
was
shit seems like it has to be, it's so insane.
These people are inhuman, man. They're insane.
Well, yeah, they're narcissistic monsters, and everyone around them is a cardboard cutout. You know,
dude,
like nobody actually matters.
There was
no emotion.
There's screenshots of a back and forth between Elon and Epstein.
Oh my god, dude,
and
that shit is so actually pathetic.
It's pathetic and funny, but Elon's like,
hello,
I am looking to have some fun.
He put girls for the win in his fucking email.
Yeah, he's like, I'm looking to have fun with some beautiful young ladies. Do you think you could help me out? I'm trying to party. And no shit, the response from Epstein, and this is on Christmas morning, by the way. This is Christmas morning. And Epstein was like, no, this is what happened. This is one of the email chains. Epstein goes, well, that's interesting you asked. Not doing anything over here, but in a couple of weeks, we're having a get-together with some UN officials in New York City. You should come. And no shit, Elon's response was,
no, I don't want any of that.
I don't want to do that.
No, Elon's response was, I am the CEO of two very important companies, SpaceX and Tesla. Going to hang out with some do-nothing UN officials would be a huge waste of my time, period. And then he sent the email. The email response from Epstein, no shit, said, do you think I'm a retard? These UN officials are all going to be under the age of 25. Do you want to come hang out or not? And Elon's like not understanding the code.
Elon's tism is just like,
he's like, I'm not going to hang out with the UN guys. I'm looking for young girls. Like, what? It's
my
just
favorite
so
part about that
ridiculous.
is that the very next, like the next correspondence that we got to see, God knows how many others there were, was Jeff saying to Jelaine, handle this. And then she was like, ooh, sorry, we're thinking about shutting down the island for the rest of the month. Sorry. Maybe when we start the parties back up, you can come.
Oh my god.
The man is literally such a fucking loser, he can't even break his way into the pedo club.
No one wants to hang out with him, not even the most evil people in the world that want access to wealth. That's hilarious to me. Anyway, the Epstein file shit. We touched about it a little bit.
Dig up
earlier.
Mar-a-Lago. Dig up Zorro Ranch.
Nothing's gonna happen though. Nothing's gonna happen.
Bring out the Everett Dogs. Bring out the NPR.
So like,
or
even if we
PNR,
could vote again, and all of Trump's enemies got into power, they still wouldn't dig it up.
Because they're complicit too.
And that is why it's up to the people. And again, I'm not advocating for anything, but it's up to the people to make a change. Just saying, because people will start.
I think people will start doing it. I think people are going to start going to Mar-a-Lago. I think people are going to start going to Zorro Ranch.
It's up to the people, man, because the shit ain't going to change. There's only one. You have to fucking empty out the entire sewage bucket, wash it out, and start over with clean water. I mean, like I said, not advocating for anything. Violence is bad. Overthrowing the government's bad. Don't do that kind of stuff, folks. I'm just saying.
Declaration of Independence.
But I'm not saying that I'm pushing for that on this podcast. I'm just saying if people want actual change, that is probably going to be what happens. People are going. I mean, you look at the overthrowing of governments throughout history. You look at revolutions throughout history. People get pushed too far. The rich go too far. History doesn't repeat itself. It rhymes, kind of shit is what they say. It's smelling like some rhyming is about to happen. I don't know.
It smells like a rhyme. It smells like a rhyme is about to happen? What the fuck is that? No.
What that, you know exactly what that means.
Unwashed ass is what that smell is.
You know exactly what I mean by that.
No.
And
I just think it's funny when people are like, oh yeah, French Revolution, they got rid of all the rich people. I'm like, do you know who funded the French Revolution?
And what happened next?
The bourgeoisie, dude. They were like, fuck kings, we want more money.
And it was really bad after that.
These local people pissed. Chop their
on
heads
some
off.
real shit. On some real shit. I just want to say, it is very fucked up. I know this is not saying anything, but it is just so unbelievably fucked up that we live in a world where this is actually happening in front of our eyes, because it felt like many things always on the horizon, like it never actually would happen. And I think the rest of the world rightly is looking at us as Americans right now and going, you guys got what you deserved because you laid on your lazy asses until everything got taken over, and now you're going to get fucked. And
Yeah.
they're right.
Okay, they're right about that, but you know what else is kind of right too? Is they sat complacent
On their asses. Yeah, I know.
sitting on their asses, funding all this like other shit and not propping up their defenses, and then all it took was Russia being like, oh, I'm feeling a little aggressive today, and now everybody's woken the fuck up. So,
Well,
yeah,
not only that, but the rest of the world is also, the rest of the world's governments are like, this is an embarrassment. We hide this way better than you guys do. We would never, ever allow these documents to come out in our country, because this shit is going on everywhere. The amount of shit that goes on in other countries that is exponentially worse, as bad as this is, and it is awful.
Oh, yeah.
The shit that goes on in fucking Africa and like,
well, hey,
countries that are Muslim run, especially like female castration, all this other stuff, like it is legally allowed for you to rape your wife and do weird, awful shit in these theocratic nations. Like, we just sit by and we're like, okay, cool. We want to be non-interventionist. Fine. We can have an entirely different discussion. Yep. But what, like, when the chickens come home to roost here and they lay a 3 million page data dump out in front of our face with random redactions that are like, they have duplicate pages with different redactions. Like Coffee pointed this out in one of his videos. It's like, it's so incompetent that it's some.
That's the worst part about it, isn't it? Is that they're all so fucking stupid.
Bad.
That's the worst part. They're all fucking idiots.
It makes you ask more questions, though, dude. If they're letting us see this, then what is actually the fuck going on behind the scenes?
I know.
How do you let?
Hold on.
I'm just going to assume it's bad.
Dumbass who already left, and Cash Patel. If the current administration is allowing this shit to come out, and that includes the establishment. So let's not conflate the two. We have the current administration with all of Trump's appointees and the actual establishment in the agencies, which is way more important, right? The CIA, the FBI, the NSA, and every other organization that we don't know the acronym to allowed this to happen is way more important than the administration itself. Why the fuck do we get to see all this shit and all of its incompetence? What is actually going on?
How far down is the rot? How evil is it? Yeah.
Oh, it's to the core,
or
baby.
Why? Or what's the distraction? It's one of the two things, right? What's the rot? Like, what does it actually go to? Or what are we being distracted from? Like, that is the thing that just blows my mind right now.
That's right. And the funny part about it all is it's so obvious because you look at the faces of the administration that's currently in charge. They're literally walking circus clowns. Like, Cash Patel is a fucking clown.
Jesus
Pete Hegseth is a fucking clown.
Yes.
Like, Pam Bondi's a fucking clown. Like, all these people are just in makeup on stage.
They are
like,
oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
This
is like, okay.
All of them have been.
I'll give you that. They were clowns in the last.
This is way different, though. It's not even comparable.
These are like
it's not.
Ringling Brothers clowns.
It's not comparable.
Cirque du Soleil, okay?
Arcane, it's not comparable. What's happening right now is not comparable to anything else in U.S. history. It's not.
To take the bait,
it's actually worse,
dude. It would be taking the bait to have that argument. Like, at the time that happened, it was the worst shit I've ever seen. And now what we're seeing is the worst shit I've ever seen.
It just keeps getting worse.
Well, it is.
Like, we would be falling into the exact paradigm that we all agreed was the game. Like, we're falling into the game they want us to play, which is like, oh, compare the Republican current administration versus the previous Democrat. No, the
It's all the same
previous
thing, yeah.
Democrat administration during COVID was the biggest fucking joke show I've ever seen, and now the current Republican administration
Well-
is the biggest joke I've ever seen.
The
Like,
Republican
they are
administration,
terrible.
though, is, you know, okay, you know the little spore that can like infect an ant or a praying mantis, and it grows out of its head, and it looks like a praying mantis or an ant.
Cordyceps.
Cordyceps. The cordyceps have actually taken over the body, and it's not even the praying mantis or the ant anymore. That is what MAGA is with the Republican Party. It looks like the Republican Party. It says it's the Republican Party, but it's the fucking MAGA cordyceps. It is a completely different demon. This is an accelerated, light speed fucking booster rocket on the decay and decline of the country and the empire.
This is something that we haven't talked about yet at all, that I think is actually probably the most important part of this entire conversation, and I'm kind of upset we skipped it because I just kind of forgot. Right now, the DHS is buying up warehouses around the country.
One is a mile from my house, and it's insane. There's a fucking holding cell facility that they're building 1 mile from my house right now. They just acquired the building. People are freaking out in my town.
They are trying to. This is verifiable. It was even covered on the news. They are buying up warehouses, empty, abandoned warehouses, factories, and stuff to use as deportation,
holding
facilities.
Detention centers. Yeah.
The most concerning part of it,
internment
if that's
camps, shall we call them?
The most concerning part about it, if that's not alarming enough, is that on the files that were released about these DHS purchases, there's mention of like showers, which, you know, if you're going to detain these people in beds and showers and foods and shit, okay. Biological material incinerators. You could make the argument that it's to burn clothes after they get rid of them, or burn human waste, like they take shits and they're not going to use the sewage to get rid of it. But we've heard this fucking story before. Okay, this is not the first time we've
like
been
rhyming.
around this block before. Yeah, it smells like rhyming, and rhyming unfortunately smells like fucking burning human bodies. Okay. Yeah. Thankfully, people are out protesting these things, and actually one of them got shut down. The purchase got blocked by the city. But the question is, if they keep flooding the zone like this, how long before they just get away with it because people can't keep up? Because they have to go to work, because they have to pay their bills.
They have kids to take care of.
They're stuck in a system that they have to do these things. They know that eventually, and here's the thing: Stephen Miller.
What's the motive? What's the motive though? Like
kill
you're
your
making
enemies.
a big leap, dude.
Well, so
no,
I mean,
they're not enemies, dude. I feel like we've taken a huge leap here. So
hold on, let me finish.
Let him finish.
Hot second.
Let me finish.
Before you finish, you've got to establish some kind of motive. What you're leading to is the idea that we've gone from, hey, for the last X amount of years, we've allowed people through completely non-existent immigration policy or enforcement, people to cross the border illegally in the tens of millions of people coming into the country. And now, regardless of the tactics, there is a legitimate argument to be made that people that are here illegally should go home. If you went to New Zealand tomorrow, I've been there, I had a student visa there, and I got kicked the fuck out when my visa expired, and they had every right to do that. I had no right to be in that country. We treat this country very differently, and now, after years and years of negligence and dumbass shit, which you could very well argue that is for political voting purposes, you're trying to get people in to vote for a particular political party, those people that are here illegally are being kicked out. The tactics, I think, suck, but the law is still the law, and we can have an argument about whether or not you can have a country without a border. But you have now gone from a leap of, hey, it's not good to have people here illegally, to we're going to fucking have death camps and burn people in buildings without any fucking evidence whatsoever. That's a dangerous accusation. And what my ask is at this point is, how do you get from point A to B?
Okay. So the reason I wanted to say is, let me finish, is that the current administration specifically Stephen Miller, who is essentially the person in charge of most of this, has said that he plans on getting rid of 100 million U.S. citizens. That is his stated number. He has been on record saying that he wants to deport 100 million people. Where do you deport 100 million people? I don't believe for even a fucking second.
And also,
Stephen Miller posted this, that he talked about this in, I have to find it. I'll find it and send it to you after the podcast.
Keep looking, but when this fascist regime also says that Democrats are domestic terrorists and they keep saying that shit, that is the slow burn of othering. It's the slow burn of othering. And what can you do with a domestic terrorist? You can hold them as long as you want. You can do whatever you want to them, really, because that's what America's been doing for a long time. It has never been a U.S. citizen really before, though. It has never been at this level. Go ahead, Odin. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Am I convinced that that's what's going to happen? No, I don't necessarily think we're going to jump straight to that. But it's not hard to imagine that an administration that continues to use authoritarian tactics would use more authoritarian tactics. It is not a stretch of the imagination to believe that a fucking administration that may be beholden to a deep state that does not view anyone outside of their little ring of fucking friends as human beings.
Benefit, dude. No,
I get that. I get that. I understand what you're saying.
There's no benefit.
I want to believe that too.
Like I understand that you guys are on Team Blue, at least for now.
I'm not. I don't fucking.
I'm Team Middle.
I'm not.
But that's fine.
I am anti-Trump. I'm a registered independent. I'm a gun owner. I'm a veteran. I think it's all rotten. I am not on either team. I just think Trump is evil, and I think I think he's fucked up, and what he's doing is leading towards something like what Odin is saying. I think it's going that way.
That's fair. Let me say, I misspoke. You're on Team Anti-MAGA, not Team Blue.
Anti-fascist MAGA.
Anti-MAGA. However, it is a massive leap, and for you to get down, like, even if you believe everything that he does, everything the current administration does is pure evil, which if you go back in time, as much as I hate other administrations going back all the way to the founding of the country, generally you're not going to find pure evil in any administration. We've
been committing war crimes on people around this fucking planet for as long as I've been alive.
And you're going to find a lot of self-interest, and you're going to find a lot of people that just want to get fucking reelected. And there is no benefit that you can name to like having modern day concentration camps by buying out warehouses.
What was the point?
I want to touch on that.
Actually here illegally.
I'm going to touch on this.
It's not the illegal.
Yes, I can make an argument, and it's from history, dude. You know what Hitler tried to do before the concentration camps? He tried to deport all the Jews, and when they found out that that was very expensive and really hard to do, guess what they decided to do after that?
They fucking killed him.
Fucking kill him, because then
that's the point. That's the point.
Anything. It always starts with deportation. It always starts with we need to get rid of these people.
And what ICE is doing is not. They're fucking hip firing at will randomly. There are people that are citizens of the country that have done nothing wrong, that are getting fucked up, injured, killed.
They pistol whipped a 16-year-old kid that his hands up, standing on the sidewalk.
Woman in the stomach.
You're allowed to fucking protest. You're allowed. Where are the Second Amendment Republicans at? Preddy had a gun on him. He's allowed to protest. He's allowed to talk shit. Freedom of speech. There's a bunch of fucking stuff he's allowed to do. He was fucking executed, and that is going to continue.
Do you want to have a rational conversation about that event? I would love to. Number one, if you are a concealed carry permit holder, which he was, correct? Mm-hmm. Alex Preddy had a CCE?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or CCP. I think I said E. He had a concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
He had a gun in a holster. Do you know what your restrictions are when you sign up to get your CCP?
Depends on the state.
You're signing a contract that says, I'm not going to fuck around when I have a firearm concealed. You don't get to drink. You give up privileges. And one of those privileges is you don't put yourself
I don't know if that's true. I don't think
voluntarily-
that's true.
Oh,
It
it's
depends on your
absolutely
state.
true. It is
Different states
absolutely
have different-
true in most states. I don't claim to know every state, but it is absolutely true that
Why
you
did
do
they shoot
not
him that
put
many times
yourself-
after that? Did they execute him? Yes or
okay,
no?
this is a different
Improper use of the
conversation.
force
This is
matrix.
where I will agree with you. I will agree with you that the fucking team that shot him fucked up. Somebody yelled gun, and they all freaked out and shot him. It was a bad shoot. It was not right. However, two things can be true at the same time. Alex Preddy was there to fuck around, and he found out. He wanted
That's fucked
he
up.
wanted to put
I disagree.
himself, dude, he wanted to put himself in a situation with a firearm knowingly. He put himself in that situation, and he should not have done that. He also should not have been killed by those people. They also fucked up. But he is as responsible as a concealed carry permit holder for never going into a hostile situation voluntarily with a firearm. You just don't do that.
So I'm gonna
Period.
push back on one thing,
No.
and I know this is like, I know this feels like a fucking straw man argument whenever somebody brings this up, but literally the Second Amendment, the point of the Second Amendment is to have the ability to defend yourself against a tyrannical government. That is the letter of the law of
Sure,
the Constitution.
You're right.
And if
Right.
Alex Preddy, so if Alex Preddy or any other person decides that ICE is pushing things too far and they seek to defend the people of their
Community.
neighborhoods
Area.
and their community, and they just decide, I'm going to arm myself. I'm not going
And
to take
protest.
action unless I see,
Right.
and I'm not going to take action unless I see somebody making an extra, like if I see ICE officers just fucking walking down the street, gunning people down, I'm going to shoot back. That is 100% defensible position. I understand what you're saying. I get it, because cops freak out and shoot people all the fucking time, and this is the same defense. And yes, being on the line of law is very different than sitting at home and talking about it. But in this particular situation, they were macing the guy in the fucking face. They threw him to the ground. They had 6 dudes on
I
top of him.
100%
One of
agree
them pulled the gun out of his holster,
I know.
ran
I know.
away, then they yelled gun, and
100%
and
agree.
fucking iced him in the back of the head, dude. There's no
Ice-
defending that guy.
Iced him.
People
That's
get
murder.
What
That's
about-
outright murder.
whatsoever from me on
What
that
about
point.
Renee Nicole
However,
Good, who
he-
was shot in the head just in her vehicle trying to get away from a situation?
By the guy leaning over to fucking get a better shot at her.
They were
That was extreme. That was really extreme. Preddy is a better example of someone that Odin, you're 100% right on every account there. But again, this is one of those examples where the dude volunteered to die. I understand the
No.
constitutional.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I think
And
that
when he
argument
got-
falls.
When
poorly.
he signed the contract that got him his concealed carry permit that allowed him to carry a firearm underneath his shirt in a holster, and he voluntarily put himself in a hostile situation, if, like, one of two things has to be true. If he was a peaceful protester that was just out there to deter ICE, which, by the way, he's impeding a federal, according to, and this is a different argument, they claim targeted operation against one guy, and a orchestrated group of people were hindering a federal group. And that dude shows up there with intent to do that, knowingly carrying. He inserts himself into that situation.
Dude, he was across the street with a phone in his hand. He was
the
he walked
intent.
up and
Who says he has intent? I don't
He took a step off the sidewalk and started screaming at them
Which
because
he's
he's
allowed
fucking
to do.
pissed.
And he's allowed.
Yeah, and
He's
he's allowed to
allowed
do
to
it.
do that.
That is
Absolutely,
not
you're
a
right.
death warrant.
He is absolutely allowed to do that. But the second you put your gun on your holster with a CCP, you have different obligations. That's
I
a
have to
problem for
disagree
him.
with you.
I don't think that's true.
because
It-
no,
it's
I
not-
have
it's
to
not
disagree with you
even-
because
We have
people,
an expert.
people in the military, people in the who are former special forces, people who are training police officers, people who've trained federal agents, all went on national television and said they did not have any right to kill him, and he did nothing
agree.
wrong.
No, I agree. I agree with all those things. But the CCP aspect of that should have told that guy that you don't carry the gun to that party.
I
So-
get what
so
you're trying to
because
say. I
have
get
a
what you're trying to say.
concealed carry Because I have a
I get
concealed carry.
he's not justifying what they did. He's saying that the guy should have acted in his own self-interest by staying away from that situation, which I understand. But
if he wants to prove a point, don't take the fucking gun.
It's not proving a point. It's exercising your rights, dude. Like,
that's fine. You can exercise your rights as a CCP carrier. You know, based on the contract you signed.
I don't think what you're saying is correct. I'm gonna bring in someone that has a deep understanding of the Second Amendment. Someone that was
Crayzed can say whatever the fuck he wants.
I just want to hear what he has to say.
In the contract, he needs to read the exact verbiage in the contract of the state of Minnesota that when you get your concealed carry permit, what you are obligated to do and not do, which includes drinking and inserting yourselves into hostile situations, which he did voluntarily.
We're just going to see. He knows so much about this stuff. Let's just see what he has to say. Let's keep it civil. This is a good convo. He is the gun guy in my friend group. Styx, you know this. He is pretty much an expert unofficially with this stuff. I just want to hear what he has to say about it because he actually knows the laws and he knows all about the amendment and he is quite literally the gun guy. So, Crayzed, if you want to join for a few minutes as a special guest,
yes.
I would love to hear what you have to say. I think everyone else would like to hear what you have to say. Go ahead. You can join the call. He says, pull me in. Maybe he's getting on his PC or something like that. There we go.
Hey, what's up?
We got to see you, though. We got to see you.
What's up, Arcane? It's been a bit, buddy.
Hey.
Get that cam on. I want to see that face. I want to see that AR that's literally on your bed behind you. Yeah.
All right,
in front of a flag that says "Don't tread on me," dude.
Give me one second.
He's gonna get on a fucking list from turning his camera on.
I'm gonna put you in the title with special guest Crayzed. A special appearance from Crayzed.
All I can say is like before Crayzed gets going is that you're right that the concealed carry permit, it's different in every state. It's a CPL in Washington, and there's hardly any restrictions except you can't be a felon, and like you can't be a violent felon, you can't do this and that, and there's certain places you can't carry even if you have a CPL.
And this is Minnesota.
Like, you can't go into a bar. You can't.
It's basically a suggestion in Texas.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we have to make sure that Crayzed at least has an understanding of this particular state's laws as well, because it is going to be different state to state. But overall, I think it's a bad take to say that he showed up with intent. He showed up, fuck around and find out shit. That's some pretty brutal language, and it makes me sad to hear that.
You're right. That was that was a little hyperbolic, but I don't think it's a stretch to say that he had that intent because there were people that were following ICE around with the express intent to interfere with their operations, and it has been proven 100% that he had done this previously. He had kicked out the taillight of a car and got his rib broken.
Yeah, we saw the video from that.
Officer. Yeah, correct. So I don't think it's a stretch to say that his intent was to get there and fuck around with ICE. So I'm sorry I was hyperbolic in saying fuck around and find out. That was not appropriate. But I do think it is accurate to say he willingly and knowingly showed up with intent to fuck around with ICE during what they claim is a targeted federal operation, a law enforcement operation, which is legal before it goes to a jury. And he showed up with a firearm and on a concealed carry permit. And this is where I will defer to Crayzed for the state of Minnesota's laws on what you're allowed to do with a concealed carry in the state of Minnesota.
Okay. First, I just want to establish a couple things. So you agree that carrying a firearm is not an automatic death sentence?
Absolutely not. No.
No? Okay, so I have quite literally walked in with an AR-15 to my state capitol.
And the open carry?
Yes.
Were you open or concealed?
Yes, open.
Okay, do you agree?
It's a full-blown AR-15.
Grace, do we both agree that concealed carry and open carry are two different things?
Yeah, but definitionally, absolutely.
Okay, good.
But my point being is I have walked into a state capitol building where the governor of my state that I openly criticize, it works on a daily basis, and Texas DPS is like, hey man, that's a cool rifle.
Yep. Right.
What? Why? I don't understand. I don't
Are you
understand.
trying to compare that situation to what we witnessed in that video?
No,
and
I'm trying to
say
establish
that open carry is the same as concealed carry.
No, I'm trying to establish if we think simply having a firearm on you
Absolutely not. No.
gives cops a reason enough to shoot.
I think we agree on that.
Absolutely
We agree on
not.
that.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Crazy
Yeah,
town.
that's what I was trying to get at. So like we agree that simply having a gun on you
Absolutely
is not a reason to
that's
be
Second
stopped.
Amendment
It's not a
shit,
reason.
dude. I own
Yeah.
firearms. I support the Second Amendment 100%.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
We're clear.
Now, I will caveat this since I'm not like an expert on Minnesota laws particularly. I'll need to look. Most states, as far as I'm aware, especially with the like you mentioned like drinking earlier, it's not expressly illegal to have a beer and carry a firearm. When it becomes illegal, or it becomes like an accessory charge, is when you are over the legal limit, like when you meet like that inebriated.
Yeah, that's true in some states. Yes.
So like I know for like I can speak for Texas, like I can't even carry into a bar because that's a felony.
Right. Correct.
Same in Washington.
So right. So I'm sure it's the same.
And he was
I know that's similar.
outside in a public area.
Right.
Also,
so like I think like my gripe with your point, right? And this is, and again, to be clear, I don't think you're calling like Alex Preddy a domestic terrorist. But
No.
I think the point that you're trying to make gives
It's
water.
a common sense thing.
I would agree. I will even give you this. I think a lot of people act like dumbasses around cops. Full stop. So many people act like
Definitely agitators for sure.
Yeah, they act like idiots around cops. Now, do I think Renee Good should have been shot? Absolutely not. It was ridiculous.
Nope, I don't either.
Should she try to have driven off? Probably
No.
not.
She was being told
was
two different
retarded.
things, though. She was being told to leave
I
and to pull over and leave the vehicle from two different people. She chose.
I agree.
She made the free will decision to listen to the person that said to leave. Is it?
No,
Then she got shot in the head.
It's the Simon. It's the Simon.
No.
It was her girlfriend.
No, I think one of the cops
Yeah,
did
it was
tell her
one
to
of the cops
get out.
To leave the area. Yes, she was ordered
I
to
will
leave the
agree
area.
with you. There's too much Simon Says shit with cops. Like you see this all the time on Cop Slop YouTube.
No, that's true.
Where it's like, hands up, stop resisting, hands up, get on the ground,
Right.
stand up.
Oh,
It's
I've seen that shit.
like
It's insane.
it's ridiculous. But like I think we could all agree at the end of the day, like if you're interacting with law enforcement, probably not a good idea to try to run in a car. Not saying that's like she was trying to evade, like it's a scared woman. Like
No, she was intentionally there. She was there for the express purpose to interfere with their operations. And
sure, yeah, sure.
And then trying to hide under the guise of protest, right? Like everyone wants to say it's our social cause, it's team anti-Trump, and therefore it's okay. And we're going to ignore the fact that she is interfering with federal law enforcement operations intentionally. And there is data, verifiable evidence going back a while for her communicating with different organizations that orchestrated her being there. She chose to be there. She wanted to be there for that express purpose, and she had done that repeatedly. Does that mean that she deserved to be shot?
No, of course
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that was a bad shoot. It was legally justifiable, and I don't think that guy is going to get convicted. For Alex Preddy, I hope all of those guys go to jail. For Preddy, that shit is fucking ridiculous. And also, Preddy was an idiot for doing what he did. Both of those things are true. He did not deserve to die. It was a bad shoot, and he should have never taken that gun to a situation where he knew he was going to be agitating cops for his
They're not cops, by the way. ICE is not cops.
Okay.
I mean, it's federal law enforcement.
Semantics.
It's semantics, but all those things are true at the same time. Like,
okay, I think I'm partially
all around.
I think I'm partially sympathetic to this because it's like, as a Second Amendment guy, I do acknowledge, like, if I'm carrying an AR-15 in protest in public, I'm inviting a level of attention. That's just the reality. Like, people are gonna look at me and be like,
We just lost you, Chris.
Yeah, we lost you for a second.
Oh, am I good?
You're back.
You're good.
Okay, so like what I was trying to get at is like as a Second Amendment guy, I'm partially sympathetic to what Arcane's trying to say, and just I think we can all agree like there's just certain things you don't do around police officers because it increases the likelihood of violence happening. Like whether it's right or wrong, at the end of the day, we all value leaving a police encounter with our lives. Like I think that's just common sense, right? But I think what I take issue with is with the Trump administration and how I specifically handled like the Preddy shooting. The idea that they murdered Preddy, and then the first thing the administration said was that guy's a domestic terrorist because he has two.
He was
loaded
brandishing.
magazines.
They said he was brandishing his weapon when they
And-
walked up to them.
It was
It was
just
a
as
phone.
awful as the bullshit that came out of the last administration's mouth when we started talking about fucking COVID and whether
I'm not gonna-
natural immunity made sense. Like all of these administrations are guilty of fucking murdering people, except, well, there is no except. They're all retarded, right? Like the last,
I mean,
They're-
dude,
they're
I'm an
all
anti-government guy.
retarded.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Yeah.
hear any arguments here.
they're
Yeah.
all retarded. There's no, I don't even want to try to draw some kind of false equivalency here. Like we can just start going back throughout all of history and name every administration that did dumbass
So-
shit. But I was absolutely disgusted with the response of
Yeah.
who the hell was it? Christy Nome.
Can I ask you? So
Yeah,
I-
Chrissy
I'm
Nome or
just-
Pam Bunny or
I'm just
Well,
curious.
it's
Like,
not
one of those fucking
Arcane, I
Batman
think both
cards.
you and I come from like a very similar place. Like I'm like a right-leaning guy. I'm just not a Trump dude. Like I think Trump's an idiot.
Yep.
But what do you think should happen to people like Stephen Miller, Christy Nome, Tom Homan, fucking Manlet Bovino? Like what should happen? Like, because I'm of the opinion that like, dude, there's no difference between me and Alex Preddy. I carry 2 magazines on me. I carry a gun daily.
There
Sometimes
is a difference. You're not putting yourself in the middle
but-
of a hostile situation voluntarily.
But I have.
With a weapon.
But no, that's
With
the
a
thing. I
weapon?
have.
With a weapon?
Yes.
He always
active.
has a weapon.
Yeah, I do not leave the house without my carry at all. I that's why I don't really go to bars that much. I don't smoke pot. Like I value being able to carry my gun on me daily.
Okay.
Versus like
That's fair.
I've been to protests. I carry a gun everywhere. And it's like I said, it's like the idea, like what really gets to me is like a Second Amendment guy. It's like the fact that like I can put on a plate carrier, walk into my state capitol, open carrying an AR-15, and
Yep.
Texas DPS is like, hey man, that's a really fucking cool rifle.
Number
and
one, you're in Texas.
Sure, but I think that should extend like everywhere
Yeah,
across
don't
the
do
country.
that in
It
California.
should.
But
Craig,
it should.
We don't
go
know
to
the
state
laws
of
in
Minnesota
Minnesota.
and do the same thing. Can you go to the state of Minnesota or California and do the same thing?
Dude,
California.
I'll
Can
fully
we
admit,
acknowledge that
I
Texas is
took.
not the same as the rest of the country. For
I
example?
will-
I
It's not
can
the
make
same.
one correction about Minnesota law with concealed carry as I've been reading over it while we were talking all this stuff. Nowhere in there does it say you can't drink. So you can drink.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
However, it does say
What are-
places you are prohibited from going, bars and restaurants. So just like most states
So,
in the
what
concealed
is,
carry, you can't go into a bar with a loaded fucking
I
gun
think
because,
the crux of the argument, and I know some states have tried to pass laws like this. The crux of the argument is it illegal to carry a gun within X amount of like distance from a public demonstration. Personally, I think all those laws are bullshit, and every single fucking American should ignore them. Fuck that shit. It is your right to carry a gun.
That is a
No-
fair take. But we
like-
also acknowledge that there are laws on the books, and when you sign contracts to get your concealed carry permit, you are signing a contract. And we also agree on the laws of common sense, and we also all
Sure,
know
common
that
sense is
Alex
definitely a
Preddy
thing.
was there for the express intent of interfering with their operations. Whether or not he did that, like with
I don't know that.
intent, we
Filming from a sidewalk is not.
I don't know. I don't know that
phone.
that's
It was
true
a
because
phone.
like
how can you say what his intent is? You can't really ask him.
well,
anymore.
it's
So
let's
like-
I
That's fair. we can make
unless it was
reasonable-
premeditated, where he went on social media and said, "I'm going to get in these fuckers' way because I don't like what they're doing." That's a different story.
His parents said. We can go by
100%.
what he said. We can go by what his parents said. We can
Well,
go
I mean,
by the
let's
video
just-
evidence of him kicking out the taillight. If we were in a
Well, that was a
jury-
week.
if
That was
we
a
had
week
jury
before.
make
That's
a
irrelevant.
decision, it would be within reasonable doubt to assume that dude went there to cause trouble and he chose to
Reasonable
carry his
suspicion.
firearm. And I'm telling you, that was a bad move. And I'm also agreeing with you that that was a bad fucking shoot. They should have never shot him. It was
Right.
absolute incompetence by all of the officers. They were
I mean, they should go to
overly
jail. It's
aggressive.
murder.
Pushing the woman
So,
to agree with was unreasonable. Then once he was tackled to the ground and they had 5 of those guys on him, one of them pulls the gun away and walks away with it. And I mean, if it's
That's what gets
like,
me though.
it's
like
just the whole thing is insane. It's so insane to the point where you have to start having like false flag type of thoughts. Like,
Yeah, not to mention the guy
what-
that was off of the side fucking clapping after they shot him.
yeah, that guy was
Right.
a dickhead. Fuck that guy.
right.
So here's where I want to delineate this and say, back to my point about the 2A, which is as far as the Constitution is concerned, is that your right to carry and bear arms will not be infringed, and that it will be the responsibility of militia to arm themselves against tyrannical government. The point is that we are now, and you're right, that our previous administrations are just as guilty of fucking death and violence against their own people. The point is that now we have an administration that is intentionally using optics of military grade gear on very poorly trained sometimes officers that they are encouraging, that we've gotten memos about, to go actively, aggressively engage with protesters and get them fucking riled up and piss them off. People are now on edge because this is fucking, they're using terms like in theater operations. They're talking about people like they're targets.
That should never happen in law enforcement, and never, ever, ever, ever should happen. You're not the military. You're a fucking cop.
So at that point,
insane.
people are on edge and they're afraid that these guys are just going to start fucking lighting people up. So it is perfectly reasonable for people to show up and film everything, and they absolutely should and continue to do so. And I think they should stay armed, because one of these days, you don't know, it could fucking happen. They could just pop off and start shooting people. I hope to God it never happens. I don't think it will, but if it ever does, I will be very happy that people are fucking armed.
No.
I think the reason, the reason this hits home for me, like really personal, is like my wife is brown. This is like very personal to me. It's like, dude, like if ICE officers approach my wife, I've got 2 choices. I let what happens, or I stand my ground, and neither one of them are good choices. Let's be real.
Is she here illegally?
No, but it doesn't matter.
But neither were the 2 that were gunned down.
ICE is targeting people by accent and color. They're not asking them and checking papers. They are storming into places and
There's
removing
one important
people.
thing there's one really important thing to mention, which is that Stephen Miller has gone on record again. Stephen Miller has gone on record that his policy is that they even want to deport nationalized citizens, people who are their parents were immigrants, but they were born here and they are citizens by birth. They want to deport those people. There's Stephen Miller's own words in one of the addresses that they gave for ICE, one of the recent ICE and DHS hearings for funding ICE. This is on record. You can look this up.
Stephen Miller is an evil ghoul, and it's
he's a wannabe fucking Nazi, dude. He's straight up.
ICE is very quickly turning into the fucking Schutzstaffel, dude. This shit is like,
it's ridiculous.
I'm getting Weimar Republic vibes.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
There is now weeks and weeks and weeks, hours and hours and hours of footage, 4 weeks now, where everyone's got a phone these days. See, it's really hard to fucking lie about this and not be honest about this. ICE is indiscriminately going into workplaces, going to people's homes, taking people in front of schools, off the
street. Told that they need no warrant to break into homes.
They're doing this in pasty white Utah. They illegally illegally entered a business in Utah without a judicial warrant.
There's hours of footage if you just look it up.
And like, look, it's like, Arcane, I love you, buddy. This is not like super, like, we have some disagreements, but it's just what, like, I come from like a very similar perspective of you. Like, and I tell it, like, Styx and Jordan will know this. I still consider myself like right wing. I'm just not a fascist.
I think we're kind of past the party lines at this point.
Right,
I don't care about the party lines.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's like
matters.
the
My question is, you
Constitution
American or
important, but I
is you
also
not?
right. Well, what kind of American are you? Right? Like it's literally the meme.
100%.
And like, I just want to
Dude.
say, like, I don't want it to seem like we're ganging up on you, Arcane.
You're
I
not. No,
know
not at
that
all.
you're a good man. I've hung out with you. I've talked to you a lot. I know that you're a good man. And I think one issue in the country now is people in different factions or trains of thought or ideologies have different information diets, and they might not
Yeah,
even.
it's a real problem.
We already talked about the. I mean, Scott said right up front, like our algorithms are different.
Exactly. And you even said that yourself. And so, look, you might have said some stuff that seemed a little weird, but you literally walked it back a little bit ago. Go ahead.
I may have been aggressive or hyperbolic and like the fuck around and find out thing, but I wasn't.
I can.
I
That's
wasn't
okay.
completely. I don't want to say it wasn't wrong, but that is not a misuse of that phrase. When you show up,
I think we all know what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, look, I will.
Like, that is an issue.
I'm a living example of that. Like,
I'm not negating and crazy. If you show up open carry, that is different than concealed carry.
No,
And
I
it's
agree.
a guy that has been on record saying, I think I might die. His parents were worried he might die. He had just kicked in a fucking taillight the week before, and it was on video. You're right. Everything is on video. Alex Preddy was an activist that was very anti-ICE, and he went there to interfere with their operations. He knew things could get shitty.
I don't know if
and he
interfering
chose
is
to
carry.
though.
Well, maybe not interfere.
He
but
was
like,
away from them
videos.
He was videoing.
All you want, man. You can give a song and dance all you want.
I think we just agree to disagree on this.
I think that's a matter of like
it's reasonable to assume he was there to interfere with them. It is absolutely reasonable.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, but we can acknowledge though that's an assumption.
Well,
Yes,
I'll definitely give.
Man, are you guys lawyers right now? Because
I mean, but we're talking about the laws,
language
right?
is powerful. Use
Yeah.
the right words. Then, like saying you assume he went there to fuck around is like
because like all this, stuff,
and you don't know what his
like,
intent is either.
Yeah,
My
all
personal
this stuff
assumption is that he
matters
was
for
there
law.
to. My personal assumption is that he was there to.
Everybody's intent is. You guys seem to know what everybody else.
We're all just assuming. We're all just assuming what his intent is.
Well, okay, I will. You know what?
We do know ICE's
I will
intent.
grant you. I'll grant it to you. Maybe he was there to interfere with operations.
We're all just assuming. I'll grant.
I will grant. Yeah, I'll grant it. But we all agree he still shouldn't have
But
been
he
shot.
already said he doesn't.
One at a time. One at a time. One at a
agree
time, boys.
That's where we agree.
It's one at a
The
time.
shoot sucked. The shoot was bad. He should never have died. The fucking ICE agents sucked and they screwed up. That should never in 100 years have been a fatal incident ever. They had 5 guys on top of him. One guy removed his fucking firearm when they saw it. And then the big question is now whether or not there was this faulty discharge as that guy was running.
No,
out.
that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
We saw every angle.
The P320 does not.
It still doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if that's a narrative that's worth pursuing. Apparently, that particular model.
It's bullshit. I can go
right.
drop my.
Throw it away. It still doesn't matter to me. You have 5 guys on top of a guy that was clearly not going for his gun or should have been subdued. It was never there was no.
It had both of his hands
for shooting him. Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Never should have died.
Which
So
I think
we are not
We're kind of
disagreeing
going.
on
We're
that
kind of going
thing.
in circles here. We're kind of going in circles here. 'cause
it's-
Okay.
I think the important fact is that we all agree that the shooting was completely unjustified.
Right.
Yes.
I think that we can all agree that nobody truly knows what was in his head and what his intent was. We can all agree that they threw him to the ground without cause. It was escalation of force way outside of what they were
It's
trained
unreasonable force,
for.
right?
10 shots to the back. Yeah.
I get
ridiculous.
what Arcane is saying though. I get it. Like, dude, I understand what you're
Within how many
saying.
seconds?
Because if we were in a peaceful country and this shit wasn't all happening right now, and somebody was in that same situation and it was a much smaller, then I would have been like, why the fuck is this guy just walking up and getting in officers' faces with his camera? Like, then I could be a little bit more.
I don't even know if I would do that then, but that's a perspective thing.
But yeah, it's again, it's perspective and assumption of intent. So at this point, we're just arguing in circles, and that's why
Right,
I kind
'cause
of want to
I
step in
think-
and put an end to it.
No,
I just
100%.
think
that makes
I'm
sense.
happy that
My-
I'm happy that we covered it and talked. Craze, go ahead. You're our special guest. With your special guest appearance, go ahead and
What's your
wrap it up.
closing
What's your closing statement? Yeah.
My statement is like I'm of the opinion that no rights are above other rights. All rights, like the Bill of Rights exists for a reason. I don't think the Second Amendment stops at any particular state's borders. So extra fuck you to Virginia, extra fuck you to New York, extra fuck you to California. Like, I mean, I look. It's rights are rights, or if I can't exercise them everywhere, it's a list of privileges, and I'm in the business of keeping my rights. So like, people should do with that information what they
Also,
will.
I want to say one thing. Actually, I'll let you finish, Chris. Because sorry, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
it's just
I'm gonna let you finish, but
no.
the
I was,
Second Amendment is the greatest right of all time.
well, so
No, the First Amendment is
the
First.
one thing I think pisses people off is that we have a very recent biased case of what's his face, fucking the little piglet dipshit that they started wheeling around as a hero, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse.
It's
There's an
I've got-
example. There's an example of someone who went to a protest with the intent to fuck somebody up. You could tell the way he was.
No, I actually disagree with that one too. I will disagree.
Okay,
We don't have to bring in
so
Rittenhouse. We don't have to. Yeah.
Maybe that's misrepresentative. Yeah, okay.
The point is, he carried a gun to a protest.
He carried a gun to a protest, and
he wasn't protesting. He was
there to defend. But the point is, he went across state lines with a weapon he wasn't supposed to have. He was underage.
Let's not talk about Rittenhouse. Let's not talk about Rittenhouse.
That's the whole thing.
The thing the only reason I brought it up, and I'm not trying to make a semantic argument here. I'm saying the reason I brought it up is that the people are pissed at the dual narrative that the Trump administration spins
that
with
is
this.
not even a dual like that is the most false equivalent thing I've ever fucking heard. One, the asshat that fucked with him was not law enforcement, and Kyle Rittenhouse.
True. That's fair.
And was chasing him down.
I mean, he definitely
And
feared
was a
for his
pedophile.
life. He definitely feared for his life.
Yes, he was chased and he tried to remove himself from the fucking situation. Man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that
It's
is not
different. It's
even
different.
equivalent on
All
any
right,
level.
I do not like Rittenhouse.
I'll-
What he
I'll-
turned into, but what happened there was
he was 100%. He was 100%.
he was defending himself.
I'll-
It seemed like
I'll-
it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was defending himself.
I'll admit I'm wrong here.
No, it's okay.
Okay, no, that's fine. I had to do it earlier.
Watch the court case. It's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Like from a
I've seen
legal
parts of
perspective.
it. It's been a long time since the last
Yep.
time I saw it.
So Q&A.
I thought we were gonna do that, kinda.
We didn't
I kinda already
actually.
did that.
Yeah, we didn't actually have a Q&A.
Yeah, I'll do.
Chat. Chris, thank you. Thanks for joining
Yeah,
us.
no worries.
You could stick around. You could stick
Yeah,
around
you
if you
too,
want.
man.
You could stick around if you want, but if not, if
We
you got
didn't even
something to
talk
do-
about Dark and Darker. Is it back or are we not back? Oh, no.
Ask me on stream what SDF stands for.
I was gonna say, fucking,
Yeah, me too.
I don't know how much
You're
Jordan wants to
crazy.
hear about this shit on stream.
about Dark and Darker.
I like this wipe. I'll be honest. I actually think it's like a step in the right direction, but I'm
I do
just
too, man.
with bated breath waiting for SDF to fuck it up somehow because it's just.
Same. Yep.
It will happen.
Yep.
I've uninstalled the game. I don't know. I'm not
I
playing.
thought
it.
you reinstalled. I thought I heard you
I'm
reinstalled.
bad. I did. I played a little bit of this last wipe. I had fun for a while.
Last wipe
but
was bad.
I'm
Last
done.
wipe
And
was
I don't.
fucking
I'm
bad.
honestly, I'm back on the DayZ train. I've been playing Deadfall and I'm addicted again, which is crazy because I've been main gaming DayZ since 2012. It is 14 years later, and I have
Fucking awesome.
20,000 plus hours in this game because it used to be my job to play it. It used to be my job to play it full time, and it's been
fucking
it's
awesome.
been my main game for 14 years, and I'm in
how I
love with it
discovered
again. I don't. It's the gift that keeps on giving, man. It's crazy because I actually was gifted that on Steam. I didn't actually buy it, which is nice. But yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. I'm in it again. I fucking love DayZ. The modding community, just protect modders for as long as possible, man. It's if you look at
They're the
all
future of
the
gaming.
greats, all the great games that became esports, all the really, really fun shit that people have really gotten addicted to, it really comes from mods. Use map setting shit in StarCraft back in the day. Fucking Counter-Strike,
Dota.
Dota, League of Legends, it's all birth.
Team
Fucking
Fortress 2.
Battle
It's like,
Royale. Even
Yeah, Team
Daisy
Fortress 2
itself
was
is a
very
mod.
smart.
Even Daisy itself is a mod. So, yeah,
Yeah.
modding is the shit, and Daisy's awesome. But anyway, was there any questions from chat? I mean, at this point, we might as
I
well.
don't
We're
see
2
I got a
hours.
question.
And,
I got a question. Did any of you guys? I know some of you didn't get to play. Did any of you guys get to play Hunger? The last any of the
Ooh, not
playtests?
yet.
No, that's on my list though.
It's so fucking good. I
Oh,
can't shut up
good.
about
Is
it. I can't shut up about it. I played it for 30 hours over the course of 4 days, which I know doesn't sound like a lot to most people, but like
No, that's a lot.
for a
Yeah.
non-streamer, it's a lot. And for me, I was very busy at the time, and I still made as much possible time as I could to play it. I haven't been as addicted to a game
what is
of any genre since the Dark and Darker playtest for
Nice.
Hunger
When's
was
it
the
come
equivalent
out?
of the Dark. Where I think they're gonna do another playtest really soon, like within a couple weeks. But I believe they said that they are trying to do early access Q1, and their roadmap for early access Q1 looks amazing.
Is
Do you think you're going to be able to put high guard down and able to like in order to
High
free up your
guard?
time?
I don't know, dude. The 0 hours and 0 minutes of high guard is really fucking eating up my
Is the,
time, dude.
That's hilarious.
Is the anti-cheat like a kernel anti-cheat? Because I mean, I need to know
Uh,
for my Linux.
I don't think it's I don't think it's I don't think it is. I think it might just be they might be starting with the AAC and then doing their own in-house thing. I don't think
Okay.
it's safe boot.
Okay, good. Yeah, I hate that
Yeah,
shit.
because then
Yeah, it's
if you're
obnoxious
on
for
Linux,
safe boot.
Craze, you can do like wine.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that complicated. You just use Proton. Oh
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Linux has gotten this last fucking distro of Linux looks fucking. I might actually just make a switch because I'm getting sick of Windows, but
Which
I have to
one,
use it
Bro,
for.
yeah, don't ask me
I-
about Windows. It's a
Which
whole-
I have to use
distro?
it. The Proton one, or the fucking recent one. Was it 25?
Are you looking at SteamOS from like the? Or...
No. There was the most recent. Was it 2502 or something? The most recent Ubuntu.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know about it. I use Arch because I'm a weirdo.
Because
but-
you're a Giga
Arch
Linux.
one.
nerd.
I'm a
Giga
Giga nerd.
All my
I fucked
LLM
around-
shit sits on
I
my
fucked around
Linux
with-
box downstairs.
Yeah. I fucked around with CachyOS for like a week, and then I was just like, I don't have enough time to learn.
Yeah,
this.
Sticks got a little.
So I'm gonna
brain
dual
drain.
boot at some point, but
Well, I mean,
I really
so
liked it.
here's like an interesting thing. It's gaming. It's a weird intersection, the rare intersection of tech and gaming. There has been a new organization announced called the Open Gaming Collective.
Oh god.
The soul. Well, hear me
That's
out.
the cult I want to join.
It is.
I'm a big Street Fighter player, so go on.
But the sole purpose is to push Linux gaming as the next frontier for gaming. The whole point is to move people off Windows and onto
Windows
Linux.
is
And I'm like,
fucking
you know
trash.
what? I 100% support that. Microsoft has
Anything that can get us away from
acquired
Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah, but is
Yeah.
it a little too late though? We just had a conversation earlier in this podcast where we talked about how everyone's gonna have a controller and a TV, and that's gonna be their gaming console.
That's
And-
it.
and-
Rockin'
that's-
Linux, baby.
That's the beauty. That's the beautiful thing about Linux.
That. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you have to have the hardware to
Open
do it
source.
though. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
That's what I was
Well,
gonna bring up
no.
is the hardware.
China. I'll get all my hardware
Tremendous
from
RAM.
I-
So they're making the best RAM.
They feel it's the best RAM. Let me tell you.
I've got a lot of RAM from China.
No
It's
one
not
rams
as American
harder.
RAM, and everything is.
No one rams harder than China. So I do have one question before we wrap up.
It pisses me off that Donald Trump has to be the funniest fucking
He
person.
is
The
funny.
guy
Hold
is
on.
funny. Yeah, he's funny.
President of all time.
It just fucking pisses me off.
Kamala Harris is like, "Do not come, Donald." Donald's like, "I'm gonna come." So that made me laugh out loud. It did. Lord Vityaz has a question. Let's go around the room here, the digital room. What is one thing you're doing good this year that you want to sustain, and what is one thing you want to improve upon? And let's start with Crayzed, our special guest.
One thing I want to sustain. Just gonna keep diving more into my site reliability responsibilities. So just a lot of learning some more Golang, writing some more software. So feeling pretty good about that. Then improve. Started going to the gym, so that was cool. Went to the gym for the first time today. Fucking hurts, but I'm gonna keep going. My company pays for it, So I have no excuse not to go, so might as well go.
Nice. Arcane.
Let's see. One thing I'm doing well this year. It's kind of an extension from last year, and this is partially a big amount of credit needs to go to Odin for this. So I was kind of on the AI train in late 2024. I had built a few things for work, but Odin really, when he got into it in June of last year, well, he was already into it, but we talked in June, really got me on the AI kick, and it like catapulted my professional career. So I'm the AI practice lead for my company now.
Nice.
And I'm starting to like really get some traction there and at home. So I'm starting to I've been building a SaaS platform that I hope my wife can run this year. So that's been going well. That's the thing that I'm, I guess, doing well. If I can get that to production in the next quarter, that would be great. Hand that off to her. I want to keep that going. One thing I want to improve is just overall like parenting, being a better human. Like I'm so absolutely focused on what's going on in the world and all the AI shit, and like work is great, but I'm not like beholden to work. But between work and my side gig and games and everything else, like my parenting skills I feel like are kind of low. So I want to get more into that. My kid's a teenager now, and he's wanting to be more independent, but I feel like I need to be there to be a slightly better father than I have been. So that's the thing I want to improve on.
Respectable answer. I like that.
You just made like our follow-up answers like suck. So.
Yeah,
No. Yeah, I feel I'm
I
just
get
like
better
you.
at Linux.
I just want to be a good dad. Yeah, okay, fuck you.
And that's the end of the episode. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have gone last.
I want to donate more and do more charity work.
No, that
I want to be Mother Teresa.
I could have talked about my church group, and yeah.
Yeah, no. You chose the right one, parent.
What you got, Sticky?
Oh God, what do I want to sustain this year? Hopefully not too much. I want to improve everything.
I want to sustain my
Dude,
life.
his
Dude,
eyes,
this last
holy shit, his fucking eyes when he said
365
that, he was like, he was so
Dude,
locked in.
the last 365 days have been, I feel like Job from the Bible. It's been a rough year. I've just like, it's been adversity after
One
adversity.
after another.
Just nonstop. So I really don't want to sustain that. That would be good. I had a bit of an attitude shift. So on a real note, like, you know, hoping to sustain, just being a little more positive, looking at things through a more hopeful lens. Except when I read the news, because it's all going to hell. But I mean, just in my personal day-to-days. And then improving, I desperately need to improve my financial situation. There's no two ways around it. And improve, you know, as long as I'm running my business, improving that. I mean, that's my easy answer. It's pretty fucking straightforward. More money for the business, so I don't have to worry as much.
Some
Like I
real
said, no
real
money,
talk
no
right
problems.
Lied.
there.
Real American man right here.
Real talk. Odin, what you got?
I'm kind of in the same boat as him, man. I don't want to stagnate. I want to make everything better. Actually, the one thing I really want to find, I would like improve my health. I like my skin's getting shitty. You know, I got to deal with the stretch marks from getting fat and shit. You know, I just want to improve my health. I've been. No, I know, but yeah, but it comes with fucking stretch marks and loose skin and shit. So you know, I got to deal with that. But yeah, no, I have been eating a lot healthier. It's nice.
Good.
It's like I this week I ate like I made a bunch of fucking not chicken salad, but like, you know, like grilled chicken salads. I was actually like, my body was craving it, so I was like, you know, I should probably put some vegetables in my mouth if my body is like,
Please do
salad
this.
sounds good right now.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm deciding on lunch, first thing I do is it's just like, what does my body want right now? And it's like, I need veggies, I need protein, and I need a starch, and I just fucking throw that on a plate.
You're lucky because my body's like, I want wild berry Skittles. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
God
Later
damn
at
it.
night, It's like, oh, and now we need a drumstick.
How
So
do
you're
I
getting
get
that
that?
from the freezer.
My problem comes the sugary drinks. That's always the hardest.
It's a hard addiction.
shit.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
able to
like-
kick sugar drinks. Coke Zero is
Dude,
great. Monster Zero is
not
great.
me.
You gotta not.
I don't do. I don't
If you
do
gotta
energy
stop that
drinks.
stuff, if you want to fix your skin issues. That's the truth. It's not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's not good. No,
And it's
I know
no
it's
also,
a
excuses
monster.
there.
fuck the sugar in Coke. That's the least of your worries. It's the phosphoric acid that's rotting
Right,
your teeth away.
yeah,
That's-
well, my
and
teeth are already
destroying
cooked,
your
yeah.
liver.
The acid and the chemicals in those drinks
I'm very self-conscious
directly
about my teeth for a second. when you said that.
it slaughters your gut biome, and the gut.
Oh, dude, it's horrible.
The gut and skin are peas and carrots. The thing you have to do, unfortunately, is eat a lot of probiotics like kimchi and sauerkraut, and you have to intermittent fast a lot. And in fact, the best way to clear your skin is to fast for like 72 hours, and then your first meal is a fucking jar of kimchi, and then you slowly get back to healthy
love
proteins
kimchi,
and
though.
greens.
Yeah,
That
resetting
you
your gut
you will
biome.
see. I promise you, if you do that. In 1 week, you will start to see improvements in your skin, and then you
'Cause
just
I've
have to. Yeah.
I've had fucking KP on my arms and my thighs for like years now, and it drives me insane. It's like the fucking my skin. It's just like it's like
is
freckles.
gut
It's not
biome,
freckles quite. Yeah, it sucks, dude. It
Yeah,
sucks.
it's really
But,
hard. It's really hard to knock, certain diet addictions. I totally understand it. I'm not gonna preach to you, but that's what you have to do.
Well, I mean, it's also I work at my computer. All of my hobbies are at my computer.
Yeah.
You
It's
got to
hard
get that
to-
vitamin D. You got to get sun too. You got to go outside.
I do. I go.
Yeah.
I go outside. I go for walks now.
The
but,
if you can do it, something granted, I'm a little lucky because like my company takes care of me, but I got
standing
our
desk.
Well, we got standing desk, and I got our office manager to get me one of those like mini treadmills to put at my desk.
Yes, I want one.
It,
But I'm
like,
s-
Yeah.
dude, that has been life.
It's a game changer. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
after I left, bit of a tangent, but after I left Iron Mace, I was looking at some other gigs for a little while. I was thinking about like getting in with similar kind of roles in like other studios, doing like community management or marketing management and social management kind of stuff. And I was kind of I was like not really feeling any of the offers I'd gotten. They weren't really like the move I was looking to make. So I decided to take some time, and that's when I got really, really into AI research. And I was very serious about being an AI researcher, which, unfortunately, as someone who has no formal college education and no credentials, it was impossible for me for
It's
like
tough,
4
yeah.
months, despite actually making contributions that were recognized in some other papers, like informal credits, not like actual, like we use this guy's research to make a new discovery breakthrough. I wasn't able to get like any AI research grants or anything. So I ended up racking up like 9K in debt, just trying to buy myself time. And I ended up being forced to go back to another job that thankfully I'm on great terms with them. So they took me back. But now I'm in the same boat as Styx here, where it's like this year I need to just get my fucking finances up because I had a great credit score and no debt, and now I have a shitty
Same.
credit score and a lot of debt.
Now I'm 20 grand in debt, and my business is like.
America.
Yeah, America.
Rough, but yeah, I feel you.
Well,
Unfortunately, my skin condition's an autoimmune one, so I can't really fix that with diet. That would be nice if you could just change your diet and get rid of an autoimmune disease.
All right, everybody, give me all your money to be an AI researcher, and then I'll figure it out with biotech, and then we'll all be immortal and healthy.
Dude, I can do you better.
Sign me
I founded this new company called Theranos. You guys should invest.
Really?
That's
Because I
hilarious.
founded two. One's called Palantir and one's called Anduril. Get out of my Lord of the Rings, you spy
Hey!
companies. Get
Don't
out.
malign Anduril. Do
Oh,
not
dude.
malign Anduril.
I
No,
will. For the
we-
name alone. Stay out
we
of my Lord of the Rings.
I will say
The
this.
flame of the West is in Columbus, baby. Palmer Luckey, the inventor of the Oculus Rift, he is a fucking patriot. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a tool. He
He's
got
a- he's
banned
a
off the
character.
night
No.
vision. He got banned
He's a
off the night
character.
vision Reddit for being a tool.
No, that guy's great. That we can have a whole nother podcast on how great that guy
I got
is.
so many opinions on his.
Okay, but can we all
stuff.
agree
Yeah.
that Palantir is evil and should
yes,
Oh,
Palantir's
oh,
fucking
Palantir is
a
insane.
piece
Yeah,
of
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, we all.
Yeah,
No,
Palantir,
but-
they're probably part of the Antichrist takeover.
Peter Thiel knows about the Antichrist. Yeah.
I mean, whenever Peter
Yeah,
Thiel's going around,
apparently
the,
Hey man,
Apparently
if
it's
it
a young
rebuilds the
Swedish girl
temple
trying
in
to
Israel,
deliver
get
humanitarian aid.
scared, okay?
In that novel, Palmer Luckey will be on the opposite side fighting against Palantir. Let's make that clear.
Anduril fighting Palantir would actually
Yeah.
It'd go pretty hard. Yeah.
That would be
That's hilarious.
actually
That sounds
do
cool
it.
as fuck.
Holy shit.
Well, good
I'll
answers.
Let him slide just for that possibility. That's it. That sounds cool as fuck.
Good answers from everyone. I'll answer last, and we can wrap up. So one thing I want to sustain is I actually have been working on the health stuff. I've talked about it on a couple podcasts. I don't want to go too in depth, but yeah, I've lost like 40 pounds. I'm in the gym all the time. I was working out before the podcast. My diet is a complete 180, basically sober. I'll have a glass of wine with dinner. I'll eat a little Molly at a concert. But beyond that,
That's a treat.
I want to sustain the healthy change that I've made. And one of the things I'm doing this year is I'm doing the John Muir Trail with my friend. It's a 200-mile hike, and we're going to be out in the wilderness for 3 weeks. And it's fucking hard as hell. And I'll probably lose fucking 20 pounds just doing that in 3 weeks. So it's going to be fucking crazy. But it's been fun working out and like rediscovering the gym after being pretty good in the military, especially when I was younger. But yeah, so I'm going to keep sustaining that. And then one thing I want to improve is the business stuff I'm working on. I'm working on something I can't really talk about yet. But it's close to becoming a real thing. So I would like to see that turn into a real thing. And be my own boss with a couple of really cool co-founders doing something that I believe in, that I like, and that I enjoy. So you never know with business. Things could fall apart, or maybe it doesn't, and suddenly you're working on something that's exciting and paying the bills, and that you have some ownership in, which would be really exciting for me. So that would be my
The American dream.
and then getting the podcast and like content creation going again. Like I left content creation, like you guys know, about 8 months ago, because I was just so sick and tired of toxicity and the way people can just go after other people without any knowledge of what they're talking about, with any proof of what they're alleging, and have tens of thousands of people turn on you over a lie. It's fucking insane. So I was really disgusted by that. So I walked away. But this is my industry. This is what I've been doing for a decade and a half. This is why streaming and making content is why I'm in the position that I'm in today. So I'm not going to let some cunts on the internet or lies and toxicity that we all know exists and that I've seen before dictate something I enjoy doing. I'm not going to let someone dictate me engaging in a hobby I like. Hence the podcast being back, hence streaming Daisy again, and getting back out there in that regard. So I'm gonna keep doing that too, improving that.
There are still, just FYI, there are still people every once in a while. Just somebody tells me about it, because I don't really pay too much attention to Reddit anymore. I really barely ever use it for anything. But there are still people who jump at any opportunity to smear both of us, and jump at any opportunity to defend both of us. It's still going on. People just can't let it go.
I'm sure. Yeah,
It's the eternal internet war, dude. That's how it goes.
Having someone say that I'm violating FTC guidelines by not publicly stating that I manage people is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. It's just so...
It all goes back to Epstein's Island. Okay, STF was on Epstein's Island. And
Whoa!
No, hold on. You forgot the
not
real.
like this video
Oh my
is
God.
coming out where he looks for Odin and Soma in the Epstein files.
Oh my
Not
God.
like this.
Yeah, but see, that's where he fucked up. My video.
I would have been a child in the Epstein files.
I would have been
I'd
a
be very mad if you
teenager.
found my name, because I would have some questions of my own.
At that time,
Right.
I would have been one of the older kids that would have been being violated. So
the price pit.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well,
Not good.
No, they left him
Unfortunately-
less as they got older over there. He would have been on the way out.
They would have been
unfortunately
kicking
for
me
you
off the
guys,
island. They've been voted out, 17-year-old. Yeah.
the real truth behind the FTC guidelines is actually in Israel.
God damn it.
Tell me
Okay.
more, Candace Owens. What else?
Yeah, okay,
Did
got
you
it.
see? Did you? I know you probably didn't see it, Jordan. But did somebody made these like some guy was just making these AI videos of like SDF and Terry freaking out about the player base of the game, and they were actually very funny.
That's awesome.
Wait, what
And I remember the end of the second one. Well, I don't want to spoil it because I want you to see it.
Wait, are these the AI memes you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen
Dark and Darker.
Yeah, I've seen them.
You see the one where it started. The second one starts with SDF on a beach
yes,
with his fucking
I've
laptop.
Seen it. It's so
and
funny.
at the end, he's bringing a pregnant child goblin to Epstein in the fucking dungeon.
I highly recommend watching that. That is hilarious shit.
That guy went all out, and he had like all the streamers give like their likeness for the fucking.
Yeah.
They had them give their likeness to do a video where they did like a Willy Wonka tour of what the fuck they're making up this week.
Oh, dude, I highly recommend watching that stuff. By the way, it is.
Tell me, Repos is
excellent.
the bald rogue image.
Repos wasn't in it. They had Party Chip instead.
But they did have
Party Chip was
Repos. There's a couple of moments where. You hear Repose's like famous like, "Hey everybody, Repose here." Like he says that a couple times in the video. But fellas, this was a fucking great episode. Seriously, what I really like about the group of friends that I made on the internet and through this fucking content creation shit, Iron Mace, whatever the fuck, gaming, is that we can have these kind of conversations and they can get intense, and then we can all just fucking dork out together and get over it and fucking all high five and still be friends. And I wish more people had that attitude. They say don't talk about religion and politics. That's a mistake, because if you don't talk about it, you don't know how to talk about it when it's time to. And we in this little group here can disagree. I've disagreed with everyone in this group on multiple occasions. We've had some blowouts and we're still here hanging out. And I think that's great. So thank you boys for watching. Chat, thank you for watching. We'll be back not next week. I'm going to be in Los Angeles for a work thing for the company that I'm co-founding. I can't talk about it. I'm sorry. So there is going to be a little gap until we get to Dorkest Hour number 10. I can't wait to talk about that eventually. Give me time. It's going to take months. But when I do talk about it, I think you guys will think it's cool. Well, not all of you. Some of you think it's cool, and a lot of you will not think it's cool. But I don't care. I've chosen my path. But thank you guys, boys.
Really leading the horse here.
I know. I'm
burying the lead. I mean,
I'm sorry. I've said too much. But gentlemen, thank you. Chat, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys for Dorkest Hour number 10 in a couple of weeks.
Also, shout out to the YouTube guys, because that's a huge portion of the people that watch this
video.
Yeah,
and to the YouTube comments, especially the people that are nice to us. Thanks.
And fuck everybody who says mean things.
Fuck you, but still hit like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Come back and watch next week.
Yeah.
Make sure you hate watch. We'll see you again.
Comment down below. Yeah, go ahead and hate watch. It's all good.
We love hate watchers.
Yeah, it's fine.
I hate watch sometimes. I'm a hate watcher.
Fuck you. Okay.
Everyone has their secret hate watch, okay? Everyone does.
No, there are certain people on Twitch that I will hate watch just because they drive me nuts. I don't know why.
All right, get a hobby.
We all know that you're a Twitch Prime sub to Piker. It's okay. Anyway. With that.
Subbed?
The Mossad paychecks are too good, dude. So.
Yeah, he doesn't need your Prime Reno. You're right. All right. Peace out, everybody. Goodbye.